Thank you a million, News. So what do we have now? Nothing as good as what that was. Lowpander. We have Lowpander and ANTIC next. I mean, News, like, do you want to play on one of the teams? Do you want to, like, medic for one of them or something? What's your main?
Well, if someone's throwing, I'll stand.
Do we have players in server, or where do we stand production with that? Do we need a minute, or what? What's up? We're doing live pick bands. We ready for that? Was that you? Who went on?
Someone, it wasn't me.
One of the casters. One of the casters.
Here we go. We did it. We're here. Lowpander and ANTIC. This is, of course, lower bracket. This is the semifinal of the lower bracket. This is probably the best match, perhaps, that we'll see out of the lower bracket, possibly. Lowpander, ANTIC.
Yeah, well, it should be a pretty close game. It should be like both of these teams could play pretty well against each other. Like either one could win this series. It isn't like, you know, there's some giant gap between what is likely going to be third and fourth. I think you could quite easily say ANTIC has kind of performed better than a lot of people expected so far in the tournament, and Lowpander performed a little bit worse than you'd expect.
Yeah.
Lowpander, obviously, you know, they've got their fun little gimmicky mid strat. They've got, you know, they've got their.
That sounds almost like a roast.
Well, they
got their gimmicky little wacky stuff.
They've got that wacky stuff, but it works against a decent amount of the teams.
Yep. No, you're right.
I can only
Highlander
imagine they're gonna try and pick the maps which best suit those kind of mids. Things like Reckoner, Process, Gullywash.
Mikey's calling it Highlander strats in a derogatory way.
No.
You hear that,
I would
viewers?
never.
Mike Adams hates Highlander.
What have you done?
What's his PayPal? Take money from him. I don't know what that means. I don't think you can do that.
What are you doing to me?
We're waiting on the first ban here, of course. It's going to be ANTIC is going to get a chance to ban. But no, I agree with you with what you were saying, Eeply. Toward the start of the tournament, a lot of people were saying Lowpander third place possibly, or like, you know, upset or whatever. And it's been a bit disappointing for them. I'd be curious to hear how they're all feeling, because you do get the feeling that they've underperformed.
Yeah, that's it. They've been consistently third best team in Europe for at least kind of a couple seasons. They've got like incredible DMers on their team, like Funds, mr.epic, Ubers are just all incredibly strong DM players. They've got obviously their very specific own brand of TF2 that they play, and it works pretty well. Historically, you know, Lowpander and ANTIC, if you were to like consider online play, there was quite a significant gap in between them. And, you know, clearly that hasn't really translated to LAN. Whatever it is, it might be what we mentioned before, the fact that ANTIC is full of LAN veterans.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's definitely a thing. I mean, it's a big difference. If people watching here in the crowd or at home have never played on LAN, it's a really different beast, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, soldiers get a boost for sure, and scouts get nerfed slightly. And, you know, if you're a team that relies on your scouts or relies on your soldiers, you know, that can go either way for you. And yeah, you know, experience as well, playing high pressure scenarios. You know, if you played a bunch of LANs, you're not really gonna care. You're gonna look forward to playing in these situations. Like, I'm sure AMS, you know, in particular, is like, you know, he's like been waiting for this. So
it's his life,
basically.
Yeah. He came back to TF2. I'm just saying.
After his solid week or so away.
Yeah. So waiting on, you know, I swear, I promise you, we're going to be banning maps and picking maps. The teams aren't at their desks, so somehow, magically, we're expecting a telepathic link.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the channel about the picks and bans, so what are we going to do? We can do a song and dance? Do Overwatch tutorials with Mike?
How to play Pharah?
Who saw this guy in the World Cup? My goodness. Different game,
right.
but, I mean, we still like him. We're not throwing him out or something. He's a good guy.
That's because I came back. Kind of.
Yeah. If you didn't, we hated you until you stepped up and said that you wanted to.
Yeah. I figured as much.
Help us analyze, yeah. Then we were like, oh, okay, cool. Please. I wanted to ask the question, Ipali, are you expecting anything in particular out of the picks and bans from either of these teams, or is it up in the air?
Kind of more or less what was mentioned a bit before. I would expect Lowpander to go with things like Gully Wash Process, Reckoner, mids where you can run an off-blaster mid. It kind of matters slightly less. You've obviously got Gully Wash Big Doors really strong for Sniper if it doesn't get denied. You have Process in general because it's quite open. Sniper works on it. You can run like Spy to mid. You can heavy kind of not so much on Process. You don't really see. Reckoner, because it's a new map, it's quite flat. It's quite open, and people's playstyles on it are less defined. So they're more likely to get shaken by some kind of off-class, especially a team like ANTIC, which aren't, you'd argue aren't the top 2.
Yeah.
So
or unpredictable plays.
Yeah. Exactly. Something which will kind of throw them a little bit, and sometimes that's all you need on a mid-fight.
Hiding spots. Reckoner is something where all the hiding spots haven't necessarily been explored yet.
Yeah, exactly. You've got like weird sniper angles, weird kind of different force plays, which, because it's only been in the map pool a few seasons, people aren't quite sure of. Like there's in terms of forcing on second, there's a really sick speed shot you can do from the toxic area, where you can jump through speed shot and basically land almost exactly where the medic holds next to the forklift. And there are little things like that, which if a team's not expecting it, you could bring out in this kind of situation on LAN, and it'll just completely throw people.
You could show us. I think Ipali's going to show us that jump right now on the... Oh, no, what's that? We have the pick bans? Okay, well, too bad. We'll get it afterwards, maybe. So the teams are back. Shout-outs to the teams for being at their desk. Good job, guys. Again, ANTIC will have the first ban here. We're still waiting on that cool, epic pick ban music.
It's going to happen.
We haven't settled on a track yet. Yeah.
I think
we're taking your suggestions. If you guys in Twitch chat have an idea what song we can play to add tension, maybe even just like the Jeopardy theme or something like that,
I was a big fan of like giving them 60 seconds for each pick or ban and just doing countdown.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe like if you're at home, maybe you could play like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music, like bum, bum, bum,
open up the second tab. Go for it right now.
I mean, if you're asking for a song suggestion in Twitch chat, I think there's only one answer you're going to get in general.
Don't say
No, I'm not going to say it. It's probably already been said numerous times.
I have no idea what you're talking about. It's
I think
a global emote
I know what you're
for the
doing.
past like 2 years. we got product. Sorry. Yeah, back to TF2, right, of course. Product, first one to be banned.
Not entirely unsurprising, I'd say.
No, not really. It's been maybe first or second to be banned for most of it. We've seen a little bit of product, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, well, just specifically against Lowpander. Lowpander love to play a perma sniper kind of play on it. They have, I think, frequently mr.epic is basically perma sniping, and they will occasionally have Mookie on Roma or Scout depending on what's happening. And I guess regardless of whether or not it's particularly good against the top teams, it can be annoying to go against. It can be annoying to deal with, and I'm guessing that's what ANTIC just, they don't want to have to deal with that, like, in a first or second map, really. It's just something that they don't want playing on them. They just want to stick with a classic 5CP, minimize the amount of weird stuff that Lowpander could do.
Yeah, for sure.
What are Lowpander going to ban? Granary or Badlands? Taking bets.
I'd be willing to bet they'd ban something like Badlands, one of the classics.
Yeah, I was going to say
Badlands. Make it a
Badlands.
little bit freaky,
Yeah, I can't really think of any other map. Maybe Gully Wash. I feel like Gully Wash could be a good map.
But they
want to
play Gully.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, we've just, well.
Is that what you said?
I don't know if they do, but I mean, they have been running.
It's like an option, not necessarily like a strong choice, but just it's something they can.
They've been running a lot of sniper on it, though,
they
as
have.
we've pointed out, right? To mid.
Yeah.
And it's been, it's been maybe working, maybe not working.
Like, when it hasn't been denied, it's worked spectacularly. When it's been hard denied, they've found, they've been really poor at dealing with, like, actually protecting him. So
they seem to like to do it anyhow.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's probably what matters more than anything. Lowpander have their own little set style that they want to play, so it's probably less, thinking cerebrally, what's the other teams exactly wanting. They're just thinking, right, what do we want? Let's just pick that.
Yeah.
Ban the ones which you don't want.
And they might be more confident running their strats of like sniper or heavy or whatever against ANTIC as opposed to, say, Seven or Swift. You know what I mean? They may feel a little more confident to be able to pull stuff off.
You would think so. Like, just while we got a couple seconds, while we're waiting for the next ban, it's important to mention that AMS created this team shortly after leaving the 7 that went to Rewind.
Yep.
So his creation of this team is very closely linked to his time in 7 and the kind of playstyle he learned from that. So it's almost like ANTIC play a kind of budget version of the 7 playstyle. Not quite so hard and not quite to the same degree and skill level, but they kind of play in a similar way. So I'd be willing to bet that kind of Lowpander's little kind of weird ideas are way more likely to work against an ANTIC than it ever would a 7, just because they do have less of that disciplined structure.
Their style almost lets it happen, kind of.
Kind of, yeah. It's just more the fact that they don't have that same rock solid base like a team like 7 would have.
Yeah. Still waiting here. Bum, 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 I don't know if the sound department can just hop on YouTube and get us the little, get us the music there. This is Halloween. It's confusion. I always mix those up. Sorry, guys. I was doing the This is Halloween song.
It's a good song.
Rip VOD. Sorry, guys. If any of your friends missed I-61, they're not going to be able to watch the VOD now,
No.
so... Sorry, guys. We'll talk to Mr. Slynn and get that fixed. Granary. Okay. So Granary was what they picked, not Badlands. I hear there's a copy paste about me in chat. It's important enough that production decided to tell me in my ear. So it must be good. Let me guess. You're bald. Something, I don't know, something about baldness.
That's about it.
Oh, I see.
Wait,
I
a
thought it
nice
was going to
one?
be that I eat at all the chillest restaurants.
Oh.
We have TF2 on this monitor. How do you work computers? Alt-Tab. Now, what does that do? That's the trick. That closes the window, I think.
Oh.
It's trying to fool you. GetOL isn't so great. Are you kidding me? When was the last time you saw a host? Wow. I prefer... What's this?
Can you
what's
read
the
it?
source of that one? I don't know how to read English. I thought it'd be funnier if it had to do with me being bald, but what do I know?
We have more. We have more picks.
Yeah. We have more
Go back
picks.
to
So
that.
we had, and I wanted to ask the question, what maps do we expect we'll see picked? And my number one was going to be Gully Wash, because I think Lowpander want to play Gully, and sure enough, they've picked it.
Said they, in their previous games on Gully Wash, like they got hard denied a few times against Swift, but every other team that I've seen, their play worked basically. And I'm only assuming here, but I'm willing to bet that they're thinking ANTIC won't be as hard an opponent as Swift was. So they're basically thinking, well, it works against basically everyone else apart from one team. Why change it? Just
Yeah.
Why assume it won't work against others?
Absolutely. So now, I mean, what do you think that ANTIC picks here? And obviously, they've got to think ahead then. Well, I mean, really, they've got, they've got to think of what do they want to ban and what they want to pick. I mean, where do you think they're going with this?
Wait.
If you had to guess.
Huh.
Okay, well, so we got
Badlands.
Badlands picked by ANTIC.
I was going to say Badlands before they got picked, just FYI.
Yeah. Whoa! Ooh, Mikey! He got it.
They picked pretty quick though, so,
Yeah, it makes sense.
I feel like, I feel like they'd want to play Snakewater next though, but I'm not sure if Lowpander would ban that, because I feel like...
Okay, we got process banned by ANTIC now.
then I'm pretty sure it basically has to go to Snakewater. I can't imagine ANTIC
Yeah.
no wait, sorry, ANTIC banned
Yeah.
process. Then I'm seeing this going to Reckoner.
No, they want to ban. See, ANTIC, I was going to say, I mean, ANTIC know that Lowpander like to pull out weird strats on Reckoner.
Oh,
That makes sense to me.
I completely confused who was banning at that point.
Yeah,
yes,
that's
that is
okay.
correct.
Because they run heavy on mid a lot on that one to deny jumps and stuff like that. I think Lowpander are at their most creative with Reckoner, maybe just because it is such a new map,
Yeah, well, you look at ANTIC's picks, Badlands and Snakewater, two staples in TF2 for basically, years and years and
25 years.
More or less, yeah. The last, 150.
Yeah.
So It makes sense. They're pretty standard. There's not really anything too crazy you can do with it. So it's less likely for weird things to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only wildcard you could have on Snakewater would be like a sniper, but I'm not sure if Lowpander would run it there.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, have we seen a whole lot of sniping on Snake? It's inconsequential. It's
It
not
is
going to be
weird,
played.
but like if you have a good enough sniper, you can make it work.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it of how there's so many plays that you can make. The angles are pretty crazy, and you can be pretty protected. But anyway, it's we're not going to see Snake Water, so the maps have been chosen, and we're just looking at Twitch chat now. We're just entertained by Twitch chat. I do eat at the chillest restaurants. Nando's, ever hear of it? I haven't been to Nando's since I've been up this time, though.
No.
Might go tomorrow or something. I have no idea.
We'll go with all the lads.
We're going to have player cams. That's cool. That's cool, right?
The production quality.
Twitch chat, huh? Huh? Eh? That's Twitch chat. We shouldn't. See, you should never tell Twitch chat that you're giving them attention.
No. You don't want to encourage them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Ideally, you want them to sit there cross-legged and just, keep themselves to themselves.
Yeah. Sit
That
cross-legged
would
like this guy. We got shorts on the couch. How about that? What a hunk.
It's pretty cold.
Yeah, it really is. It's freezing.
The one
Right
thing
under
we've
the
learned is the
under the
AC
vent.
is like
Yeah.
3 times higher than it needs to be.
Can we go to the vent cam? No? Hello? Vent cam, we took it down, I guess.
Unlucky.
Yeah, but we're just waiting. Boy, we're taking it to the next level. We have to follow up the news weatherman thing, so they're,
It's a hard act to follow.
yeah. We're going to have like 20 cameras. It's going to be like Big Brother, the reality show.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just going to follow us all around for the rest of the day.
Not us. We don't see us.
I regret that.
Most people just listen to the analysis in the background. They don't want to watch us. They just listen to what we have to say.
That's probably for the best.
They don't need
really.
to see us sitting here with our jean shorts on the couch.
Chino shorts.
Chino shorts. That's what you got.
Important thing to distinguish, honestly.
If you guys want to be an esports athlete, you can upgrade your shorts to chinos. We are. How many we got there in server, boys and girls? 4, 3. It's going down. They're counting it down. Well, tell you what. It's been a while since we've had our Ombrack and since we've had our row. So, what do you think, boys? You want to talk a little bit? We're going to force our casters to take over for us. We're going to toss it over to Ombrack and Roe. They can discuss this one a little bit. We can get our dumb faces off the screen. And then we're going to get it started with the first map. So it's all you, boys.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Ombrack,
Yeah,
this is it. ANTIC versus Lowpander.
this is it.
I remember earlier in the beginning of the ice series, they were talking about ANTIC and how they were scrimming almost every day, very hard leading up to the event.
Yeah.
And how Lowpander was pretty much just showing up at the last
Pretty
second.
much, yeah.
And now we're here at ANTIC versus Lowpander, and Lowpander said I heard some of the players like Hipfire talking about it earlier, how if Lowpander wins tonight, they might be able to even take second place.
Well, if they
That's a
win
bold-
tonight, why not
that's a
first
bold
place?
call.
Why not first place in the end? Because they
Well-
would be in the run for winning the I series. But yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned one team has been really keen for like months now, and one team hasn't been playing a lot because of various issues. Yet both of them are here tonight. They had both their own journeys through this position. I think Lowpander had a lot of expectation around them. Everyone was expecting Ubers and Mon in particular to really show up, because online they play on their computers aren't as good as what they have now. They don't have 120 hertz on online. I think maybe only 60. I don't like. They play in a better atmosphere now. So everyone was expecting no ping, good computers, good screens. They would be amazing. They've been good, but maybe not as good as everyone would predict them to be. So I'm not going to go as far as to call them a disappointment. But I think they still have stuff to prove to people. Like they have to prove they deserve the podium and at least the third place. And on the other side, again, ANTIC is like the exact opposite. No one really expected them to show up this good. they can be like in top 3. I know Amps, I talked to him earlier. It was like, yeah, we want to do top 3 at least. So he has the ambition to maybe do higher stuff. I don't know, but it's like these two teams have really opposite journeys so far, and it's going to be really interesting to see them clash on these maps because as many games we have seen today, the outcome of this one is really, really uncertain so far.
Yeah, this is a very even matchup, in my opinion, between ANTIC and Lowpander. The first map being Goalie Wash. How do you feel about that? Where Mookie's on Lowpander, right?
Yeah, he is.
Mookie's on Lowpander.
Yeah, good
so
start.
Mookie on Goalie Wash is going to be running that sniper. We saw that earlier.
We saw that earlier. We saw that versus Ascent yesterday and versus Swift earlier today. So we thought them on Goalie Wash twice already. And it looks like for Lowpander, Goalie Wash is such a double-edged sword. Either they just breathe through the opponent, like versus Ascent, it was kind of ruthless for Ascent when you're in their position. And versus Swift, they got completely crushed. I remember Crayon running the perma crits, but they got completely denied. I think we casted that game, and it was really dreadful to see how they had nothing could be done for Lowpander to save themselves. And so I don't really know what to expect from them. So. Is it like one of these maps, they're only good or bad? There's no average position for them? I don't know. And for ANTIC, they played versus 7 on this, and they drew 7. They did 1-1 and then lost a golden cap, but they tied to 7, which is in the grand final that we're going to see tomorrow. So that says something. That says that ANTIC knows how to play Goalie Wash. So from sheer numbers, I would say ANTIC is my favorite. Not by a really by a small margin, but still, I would give ANTIC winner for this map.
Yeah, I'm actually on the same area with you. Big fan of AMS and Smear. I don't know how to pronounce his name anymore. Really big fans of ANTIC, and haven't seen much of Lowpander. I know they won ETF2L. Is that right?
No, they came third.
Oh, ANTIC was the one who won.
Neither.
No, Arctic Foxes won.
Yeah, ANTIC had
ANTIC
had a disappointing run in Prem.
So tomorrow, there's going to be actually something happening at the Insomnia event. If you're here, 10 a.m. tomorrow, there will be a TF2 group picture. Hall 19. Meet outside of Hall 19. If you want to be a part of that, you can be a spectator, you can be a player. If you love TF2, 10 a.m. tomorrow.
And if you don't,
Hall
if you're not
19
there,
outside.
if you leave now, you might be there in time. You might be there in time.
Yeah,
so
if you go now, we'll let you know how the results of this match goes, and you can wait out there,
or you can
get a front row seat.
Twitch on your phone and just be on your way. We're waiting for you.
Yeah, you can watch Twitch on your mobile while you sit outside.
Exactly.
There's Wi-Fi all
Essentials
throughout the NEC.
That's the address.
Plenty of opportunities to get in the front of that picture. So that's what we have going on at Insomnia. If you're here live, hanging out with us in the crowd. Crowd, how are you doing tonight? I love this crowd. They are so hyped. They want to see more games. They love the action.
Well,
I thought after Swift and 7, it was going to be empty, but they want to see what's going to happen because ANTIC and Lowpander, two powerhouse teams. I'm really excited for this result.
And I feel like I've been drawing the opposition between these two teams quite a lot already. But I think on Lowpander, there's so many LAN rookies. I think it's the first LAN for Ubers, maybe Crayon, Mon, and Mookie. So like 4 people that haven't been in LAN before. And for ANTIC, Amps, Simire, Tom, Seroton, I think they've been all on LAN before. So again, a clash of playstyle, a clash of game plan, a clash of experience. This game is just like two opposites clashing each other to get to the next round. So it's again, I'm so happy to be there. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Tomorrow's all of the grand finals, whether it's the lower bracket finals from the winner of this one facing off Swift, and then officially the grand finals. There's so much to look forward to in the next 12 hours of TF2.
So many good games. I can't believe it. Like,
we're waiting for one more player to get into server right now.
Mickey, I think he's doing a heavy cosplay. That's why he's a bit late to the server.
Yeah, he's eating a sandwich right now. He's a little delayed.
Mickey,
finishing up dinner.
How could this happen? So yeah, we've talked about Mookie playing sniper on mid. I wonder if there's gonna be an answer for that from ANTIC, because on the last One Night Cup we streamed on Essential.tf, these two teams played against each other. It was in Granary, and it looked like ANTIC had done their homework because they really knew how to counter the Mookie heavy on mid on Granary.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting them to maybe have some wild cards up their sleeve to specifically play against Mookie. So I don't know. I know Ams is an able sniper. I know Scrap can play sniper. I know Potato can play sniper as well. So at least 3 of them could be playing sniper. There could be some like kind of big aggression. We've seen Banny doing like speed shot over the mid that was really impressive. So maybe that's an answer as well. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how ANTIC will be able to counter the Lowpander plan, because we've mentioned earlier on this land that the thing we liked about ANTIC was the way they can within a map see what their mistakes were and fix them right away, and that's really cool. Like we're talking about like top 4 now on LAN, and if you're this far, this means that you are able to change your game plan according to your opponents. And I'm really, I'm really thrilled to see how Smear and AMS and the ANTIC team will be able to, again, do they have a plan to counter Mookie?
And I think it's very interesting, going back to Mookie being a heavy main at mid. That's their strategy. That's their lot in life when it comes to the gimmicks in the EU department. The pick bans went in favor of making sure Mookie didn't have exactly an advantage going with that heavy to mid. Badlands is not a mid where heavy can shine.
Mookie makes it work somehow, but
Really?
it's true that these are less
heavy oriented.
Are we about
mid.
to say AV maps when it comes to 6s? I don't know, but yeah, they were less heavy friendly, let's say. Let's put
the
it that
mid
way.
fights.
And yeah, that got to be something that you have in the back of your head when you're ANTIC and you're making the map picks. So we've seen them, they ban products right away because of Mon and Ubers. So it looks like, from the outside, it looks like ANTIC has put a lot of thoughts in this game, in these map picks, and I think they intend to go a bit further into this competition.
So I'm here for production. Something just happened, and I missed it entirely because I was so focused in gazing into Ombrack's loving eyes.
Hey guys.
But we'll be starting within a few moments, is now what I'm being told. Ombrack, your eyes can't hide from the truth. I now know the fact that we are starting soon.
How could this happen? I'm a heavy now. Thank you, Mookie. Oh boy.
So we'll be readying up very shortly now, going to this best of 3, the final match of tonight. We're very late here at Insomnia, but we're going to go all night if we have to. If it's 30 minutes with golden caps going the full time, we'll be here. We'll be casting every single moment of ANTIC versus Lowpander. The first map being Gully Wash, second map being Badlands, the decider map being Snakewater.
Who's going to be your star player for this game? Who do you think will be completely
Star player?
amazing?
I mean, Mookie's been activated. There's no stopping. There's no deactivating Mookie.
Mookie activated.
Mookie has been activated.
So
and
we're doomed, whatever happens.
yeah, there's no way he can't step up to the plate and show up, do everything he needs to do.
Well,
as
now is
an
the time.
off-class main, a soldier, it's going to be unstoppable.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Mookie.
So Mookie is your pick. Okay. I feel like I have to pick someone from ANTIC so we can even things out. So I want to go with AMS. We know AMS thrives on LAN. He's such a LAN player, and he likes to go in and go deep and bomb people and jumping in. So yeah, AMS, please. I want to see great stuff from you.
Yeah, do not let Ombrack down, AMS. If you mess up, Ombrack will be coming for you, and he'll
You
be
don't
very
want that.
disappointed.
You really don't want that.
So we're going live for this first mid rollout. I'm Ro, joined by Ombrack with Wheathud on the camera. Going into this mid fight, we do see Smire getting to the pack a little bit faster while Hedrick goes to the big door, getting some shots, opening the door for his players to run up the right side. Uber's getting on top of the point, but getting some initiation from AMS. Tom is on the bottom, but Potato gets sniped by Mookie. Now the sniper is in play. They got to be playing a lot more careful. We do see a drop down play from Uber's getting behind, going to take down Serotonin and working his way around. He didn't even take any damage. He's going to get out of there cleanly. Lowpander is currently leading the charge in this mid fight, dominating completely.
That was such a dominant mid from Lowpander. I was really impressed by how they played it. It looks like ANTIC didn't have anything to offer. No, any kind of aggression was there on the ANTIC side, and Mookie and Ubers, the bomb from Ubers, like he went drop on and just killed both of them. Really, really well thought and really well executed from Lowpander, and the Flex team, the Mookie's team, let's call it that way. The Mookie's team is already taking the edge after a few minutes.
They're working their way through River with this full Uber advantage, and Mookie is charging up a shot to land on the players. The sentry gets taken down thanks to that fully charged shot. Mr. Epic runs underneath, tries to get some damage onto Tom. He's the last. He's so low. He's dancing around, finally gets the kill, but Smear is still alive, trying to get some stickies onto the point, but he's getting pressured directly in the face of Mr. Epic, who finally gets cleaned up by Potato, who's working his way over to the point. He sees Hildreth on the left, spamming some stickies onto the players. He gets a shot. He's going to get onto the point. He's going to hit one more pipe, and it's going to be, no! The roller is able to pick up onto AMS, but Scrab with 5 HP manages to save the round there.
That was so close. Like, that was actually 5 HP close to a win for Lowpander. And again, Uber's so dominant. So this guy, he has such a strong DM, and he almost make the push work for his team. But we have to highlight the good hold from
behind the point.
ANTIC.
Funz is rushing underneath.
Can he
He's very
get it?
close to go for a back cap. Tom is going to peek his way in, and if he times this right, maybe the stickies won't get detonated. There are stickies all over the point to deny anything. He's going for it now. He's getting onto the back of Tom. Just spamming him a little bit, but he's going to get taken down. Tom not going to be trifled with.
And Mookie and Hildreth died as well in the process. It's looking a bit tired now for Lowpander, who's retreating with we can see Crayon and Mr. Epic on the big door. Ubers is still on top, trying to get some new damage onto Arms. Really Kraters with the help. Can we say with the help?
But Mr. Epic going to last right now. He's
Can he
getting
get
pressure
it?
onto Tom, but no, the cap is going to go off in second. Surely it will. Mr. Epic has a buff though, and is going to be pressuring Tom. Tom is not going to be able to survive this for much longer as he works his way. He's going to be making it into the face, but Potato is coming in to support his teammate. Going to get that frag, and now with Mr. Epic down, the number advantage is on the side of ANTIC. They do have a 10% ad, but it's already depleted.
Yeah, are they going to try to push? Looks like Ams wants to go in. He's helped by Ams going really deep onto Mookie and Ubers. The Ubers is finally getting used by Serotin. Kind of a questionable push. Nothing is complete without charge, and now the Uber is used by Crayon. Ams is the first casualty of the blue Uber, and look at this. They're all trying to go deep, maybe onto the big door, trying to get to the lobby. Smears that. That's a big loss, heavy loss for ANTIC now. They won't be able to have the demo moment to defend their last, and Hildreth knows it. He's already trying to get aggressive into the lobby. He's helped by his team, and they look like, yeah, they're going to go for target. They want to go for it. Scrap is on the heavy, trying to hold down the push from Lowpander, but Mookie with the big bomb onto Scrap gets the heavy down. Mookie dies, and so does Mr. Epic. This is going to be a really scrappy fight for ANTIC if they don't manage to get Crayon. Crayon is so weak, he finally gets down, and Funz is alive as well. He's dancing around the pipes and the rocket onto the top right. Can he get him? Ams is trying to get him, but get completely denied by the Welsh scout. He actually gets Ams. Can he get Tom as well? No, he finally gets cleaned up by Scrap, who was respawning just in time. And now ANTIC will probably try to reap it. They have a 20% ad. Will they try to make the best of it, out of it?
There is an opportunity to push out, but it's very difficult when the Uber disadvantage is so thin. And all the players playing so close to the lobby. Lowpander could wrap behind. Right now we do see Serotonin pushing forward with the rest of his team. It's going to be a force from Mookie trying to get in the face, but no pressure whatsoever. Serotonin is going to hold on to that Uber with his might. And Lowpander all underneath the big door, underneath the battlements. The Ubers are getting exchanged now in front of the shutter. Ubers is getting onto the point to prevent that back cap. And now Mr. Epic's going for last. He's got pressure onto Tom, but Tom, no, the cap is going to happen, and ANTIC will be able to secure the second point. But there is so much damage being exchanged onto it. ANTIC are coming on top with all these frags.
Yeah, and on the back line, Mr. Epic failed to get helmed down, and he gets cleaned up in the process. So now 6 players alive from ANTIC. Smear with the deep bomb is trying to lock up that choke, so Lowpander can't peek anymore. And I don't see any offclass. No, Mookie is still on the soldier. He's not going to offclass any more than that. Ubers are quite the same, and maybe Ams will try to lead his charge through the choke. He's jumping in, trying to see if there's any room for his team, trying to go deep on top. He doesn't see the sticky yet, but finally blown up, doing no damage to the Swedish soldier. And it looks like there's a fight here happening.
Yeah, the fight is exchanging. AMS is currently up top.
Crayon is killed by Ams. That's a really nice pick from the soldier.
AMS now working his way around the lobby, going to get cleaned up by Mookie there finally. But Smear is on the point, going to finish off this cap. Gets a nice pipe onto Funz. Can't clean it up. Funz is now just dancing behind the point, trying to stay alive as long as possible. Tom beefing a couple shots, but finally connects that rocket, and the cap is going to go in favor of ANTIC. But the Ubers are still even. They exchanged.
Yeah, the damage is done. Funz forced the Uber out of Serotonin, and now this is going to be a reset onto the second point. Maybe Ams, look at Ams. He's playing pocket, but he doesn't care. He's going to go sniper. He want to break the stalemate. And he's going to try to get Crayon. Maybe Mr. Epic is on the spy, but it's just checking both classes.
This is a really good angle.
He will know, and he's going to probably take the duel versus Ams and Sniper.
This angle is so good. He gets a shot onto Mr. Funz, but does not connect it. Finally shoots the laser, trying to take down Mr. Epic on the sniper as well. We're going to be seeing a duel of the fates once again between the snipers. AMS is going to be rotating out, though, so we're going to hold off on that Duel of the Fates and wait for these teams to get in position for poking and prodding their way to this tactical assassination.
So Beavers are even. This is up to Arms maybe to try to break the safe from Lowpander. He's trying to maybe peek on balcony. Maybe he will go from the. He's going balcony. He's going for the hero shot onto Seroton. He gets piped right away by Hildred. Nice pipe from the demo man, shutting down Arms' attempts at his medic lives. And Lowpander can't really push out of this. Mookie is trying to get a bit aggressive on Riverside, but he's the only one of his team who actually can do something. And he can die now. It's not gonna hurt Lowpander.
Players are just kind of waiting it out, as we do see Ubers is running that battalion's backup defensively. We've been seeing this all throughout the tournament, and that'll give him a lot of an opportunity, more of an opportunity to push out in a post-Uber exchange as AMS is working his way up, trying to catch out Ubers, peeking very aggressively in the balcony, but he's going to get spammed out. And players have now rotated over. We do see there is a espionage in the name of Mookie waiting in the lobby. Could get into position here because all the players are looking around. He could potentially pick off one of the players sitting in the middle of the lobby while Seroton is hiding on the staircase. There's actually a potential here. Right now he does see it. He's on the back, he decloaks right on top. It finally gets spotted out by the Smear A stickies. And that will be able to clean that up. And no more shenanigans. With that pick advantage, they're going to be working their way in for a push.
Potato is going under the ball, maybe trying to get some cap time, but I think he's been spotted by either Mr. Fun or Mr. Epic. Arms jumping as well, trying to make some distractions for Potato, and Tom is going another, trying to force. He actually gets the force out of Crayon. That's a really nice jump from Tom. And now everyone from ANTIC is falling back, trying not to protect Seroton from an attempt at a jump on him. And now ANTIC is going to work with the 100 Uber ad, and they're rotating to Big Door, trying to make the best out of it.
Yeah, Smear is really close here, going to get some damage onto Mookie, who's trying to get as much damage as possible, doesn't get the frag, and get cleaned up by Scrab, and now the Uber's forced off, working their way through the lobby. Can they crash out Crayon, who's going to be able to get out through the shutter just in time? They will be able to pick up Hildred, and that's a good consolation prize. But Mr. Epic might retaliate onto Smear, takes him down, and immediately gets retaliated by Scrab. AMS now bombing his way in through the river. He's going to be flanking in at any moment. Crayon is the only one alive to heal up funds, and now they're bombing into the point. They're going to be catching out Mookie, who can't even get out of the spawn. He's so low, and the cap goes off. Lowpander have lost the first round. ANTIC taking it 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I really like to push the way ANTIC forced the Uber out of Crayon. They didn't care about sending 3 people. In their eye, that was worth it because they lost both of their scouts and their roamer, but in the end, no, both their soldiers and their scout. But that was worth it because they forced the Uber, and then they could work with however they wanted to go. They could go deep. Even if their Uber wasn't that good, in the end they got the frags, and that's what matters most in this kind of situation.
Number advantage is a key part of the TF2 meta, and Smear A getting to the mid once again through the choke. Hildred's going to be walking through the big door, opting to go through the elbow almost immediately. All these players are trying to get in position. Lowpander working their way up finally to the point. They have Mookie, but all of ANTIC are playing so defensively. They know there's a sniper, so they don't want to get in the sight line. The shots are being ringing out, and Mookie's going to get cleaned up by Tom, who's over in the flank, and they get picked off by Funds. And Crayon missed out on an Uber saw there. It's going to be rotating over. Ooh, Ubers gets taken down by Potato there, and ANTIC are responding with another clean mid.
Yeah, I really like the aggression from ANTIC. They lost the previous one because they only sat on the port and did nothing, but this time Arms wanted to go deep, tried to make some aggression happen, and it actually worked out quite well. And even Ubers trying to drop on didn't make his magic work this time. So now the Ubers are the same. Maybe Lowpander's on top, but it doesn't look like they want to hold this, just going to go last. And we've seen that 3-man sack worked once for ANTIC, so I won't be surprised to see it again.
A lot of sticky traps being set up by Hildreth in various spots. We'll see if those come to play momentarily. They are going to clear out the first set of stickies they spotted out, but there are more stickies around the corner near the shutter push. Uber's pushing his way onto the balcony. Going to try and peek his way now. Goes in. Gets spotted out by AMS, who's getting right back into the fray. Not afraid to do a little bit of damage. Nice direct rockets to pepper Ubers off the pipeline, but no one getting to position right now. It's just a cookie cutter scenario on all sides. 6v6, the standard meta. What do you think is going through ANTIC's mind? How do they want to approach this?
I know Arms doesn't like to wait that much, but it looks like they actually know how to play the kind of 7 play style, kind of slowish play. But that's because Arms played with 7 for a while. But I know that in the end, all he wants is trying to put some craziness into this slow play style. He wants to put some aggression in it, and maybe he's actually picking on the river side. I was expecting a jump from him, but maybe there's going to be a 2-man sack and someone will respawn on sniper. They're in the lead, and it's so comfy to be in the lead because then you can dictate the flow of the game however you want to be. So I think the brains of Miri and AMS are working really hard right now trying to break that safe.
Yeah, AMS peeking very aggressively in the river, trying to get some intel on the player location so they can send in a bomb. They are healing up the players. AMS getting in position with Tom. I think they're going to be going for a double bomb here as they're waiting for the buff to initiate. They catch out Funds here, who's peeked his head in for just a moment. AMS peeks forward, but it's not going to be able to jump in. They're going to back off instead. They had an opportunity there, but Funds just briefly stepped into the limelight and saw, oh, more players. Better run out.
And Funds is such a good pocket scout. He has such a good and consistent aim that it's really hard when you're a soldier to get to Crayon when Funds is around. So yeah, I'm not surprised to see how hard is it for AMS and Tom now. But Ubers has he's used his buttons backup. He's holding in right now, so he's expecting some kind of aggression coming very soon.
Yeah, a lot of players poking and prodding from every room. Tom going for the jump right now onto the medic, gets a 1 rocket, but Mr. Epic would not allow that. And now a little bit of aggressive peek from the battalion's back up in the balcony, but it was kind of a wasted pop because as soon as he peeked in, he didn't really do anything with it. He just wasted an entire banner.
Yeah, I think Ubers expected more follow-up from ANTIC,
Exactly.
but no one came. So yeah, he kind of wasted his banner, and now he has to really build it all over again. And it's not a really good situation for him because it requires quite a lot of spam. So if ANTIC decides to trade Uber now, they could get an edge if the trade is going well for them. Funds getting pressure onto the riverside by ABS, but doesn't quite die. And again, ANTIC in the holding position, trying to make something happen so they can force the Uber out of frame, just hiding clear to the wall, hugging the wall almost so it doesn't get backstabbed or sniped.
We do see Mr. Epic on the sniper, playing defensively, getting eyes on the river. Takes a shot, but will not be able to connect with anyone at that moment. I was seeing a spy earlier, but I assume it was just to check the classes. So right now we just see only the sniper in play as far as a pick class. Tom gonna get aggressive once more, but cannot get through because Mookie was sitting right at the door. Hello, how you doing? Goodbye. No entry.
He got shot down before even jumping. I think he fell under like 60 HP before he even tried to jump. So yeah, that was a sack that was killed right before it even happened. And I don't think Tom is really known for his off-classing ability. So yeah, he's just jumping out of spawn as a sniper, as a soldier again. Mookie was on the riverside trying to make something happen. And look at AMS going really, really deep onto the riverside, trying maybe to get a jump position onto Crayon. But Ubers is up to deny. Ubers, what a mid-air onto Potato, completely annihilating the Danish scout. And wow, that was such a nice play from Ubers.
Unfortunately, there will be no follow-up from that because despite getting that pick, you're on last. You can't do anything at this moment. That was a great shot, but Potato just overextended just a tiny little bit, following up on AMS, who wanted to go for something here. He's getting very aggressive. The banner has been popped off defensively. I don't see them using it yet. They're getting into position. Potentially, Uber is going to be rotating in through the lobby at some point. He's calling for Hildreth potentially to go in through the balcony while he pops it because there is an area of effect for it. They're working their way now. They pop off the banner. Uber's walking in from the left side, getting into the lobby. He's going to pressure off the Potato. Potato gets taken down right away, and the follow-up is going to force off Serotonin, who's completely locked out of the lobby. Going to get juggled out before getting forced, and now the counter Uber's coming from Crayon, and Uber's is walking forward. He's getting so much damage. He could lock out Serotonin. He's going to get AMS in the process, and Serotonin is locked into the rock. He can't get out. He's actually just able to get through because Smire hits a nice little pipe onto Mr. Epic, but Ubers is going to be pressuring him, and now the cap is going in favor of Lowpander. Going to get the second point at this time and clean up Scribe in the process.
That was such a great play from Ubers, again, from the mid-air onto Potato to that Batman's backer. That was perfectly executed. He used the reduction of damage so he could get into the lobby and force the Uber. And why he did that was because Potato was dead and was going to respawn onto the sniper, so he knew that he had an opportunity there. He didn't want to wait for Potato to add a line into his medic. He tried to be aggressive, and yes, aggressive tier 2 can actually pay off.
Serotonin there staying alive. That's going to be a key point in our analysis, I hope, because him surviving that is going to have an impact on this round, because now with him being alive, Ubers are even, and Lowpander can't push into mid for free. They have to find another way to work their way through, maybe build up another banner and do a push through choke, because all that spam is going to be neglected by that damage resistance provided by the battalion's backup.
Yeah, that battalion's backup actually acts like some kind of small Uber charge. The way it denies damage is really, really strong, and I think people kind of don't realize how strong it is when it comes to reducing damage. We can see that no one, like Tom and Potato, are so disciplined on the big door. They're not peeking. They don't want to get fragged like by being overextending. So we can see how ANTIC, we know they want to be aggressive, but they're being so cautious right now because there's so much at stake. They really don't want to lose this one.
Yeah, 14 minutes on the clock left for this map. As we do see some aggression from AMS working through the big door. He's pressuring Mookie so low on health. He's going to get cleaned up by a fadeaway rocket thanks to the chip shots from his teammate Potato. Potato might get immediately responded back with a frag, but no, he stays alive. So now with that pick advantage, they're going to be working their way through a push here, through the big door. AMS now leading the charge. A lot of sticky spam coming through. He's trying to clear the stickies. Gets a little bit of damage on the Hildreth there, but Hildreth is very close to Crayon. He is going to get in there on the face of Crayon, force him off with a nice little damage, but it's not going to force the Uber. But Tom is going to respond by coming in through the choke and get cleaned up by Mr. Epic. Nice little pistol shot, and Mr. Epic is going to be working his way through the choke, but he decides to slow things down because they don't know where the stickies are, and Hildreth is at the big door spamming some shots, and Funds is going to get cleaned up by Smear's trap.
Arms was so fierce. The way he went so deep into Crayon was so cool, and then the follow-up by Tom was actually really nice and really disciplined from the soldier. And now they're working with a 60% Uber ad, and they could. Arms is leading his team through the choke. They want to be aggressive, maybe try to get Crayon out of guard, but he's on top now. He looks like he can leave safely. And now the backup that being used by Ubers is being used quite aggressively, trying to get some damage onto the point. But finally, everyone is falling back. And yeah, that he got completely juggled in the air by I think it was Crab. And but now look at Crayon. He almost has his Uber, so that banner didn't look really good, but it actually bought some time for his team.
Yeah, I was actually going to make a comment about how that didn't really do anything because you should be going aggressive when you have that damage resistance, but it actually slowed things down enough for them to get Uber. And now with AMS so low at the shutter, he was going for a push there, but he decides to back off because he's taking so much damage. He might even get cleaned up here. No, he does take a lot of arrows, and Tom is going to get cleaned up by Mr. Epic over here. I didn't see where that happened. Where was Mr. Epic?
He was on the riverside.
River.
Like, that's where usually Tom hangs out when he's not jumping onto the medic. Maybe again, Tom isn't really enough classer, so oh, Arms dies. I wasn't looking at that. I thought he wasn't. I assume he was in the riverside trying to get on Funds. But now with 2 soldiers down, Tom only respawning now. Maybe it looks like Lowpander wants to try that luck.
Yeah, but Funds is backing off because he's low on health, and I think that's going to be the end of the push because they don't have the number or the positioning at this moment to work their way in through the battlements. Tom is sitting up very close, getting eyes on it, and there are stickies above the shutter. It's very hard to push out of Gully Wash last, and AMS is on Sniper.
He wasn't quite lucky the first time. I don't think he landed any shot, if I remember correctly. So maybe the second time will be a better for the soldier. Now the Sniper, they're holding outside at the moment because they know if they pick aggressive onto the lobby door, they're just gonna get trapped. Now Lowpander has completely fallen back onto the last Ubers with his now classic hold onto the pipe. I don't know if he has his banner loaded up. I don't think so. So maybe he won't try to go for some spam. I have no idea. But now it's up to Arms to try to make his magic work and maybe get a really amazing shot onto Crayon.
AMS charging a shot with a reskin of the Machina, which will be able to penetrate players and do a lot of damage on a fully charged body shot. Mr. Epic also running that Machina. Going to be rotating over to the river right now if he can charge up a shot. He does see AMS in the lobby trying to get that shot, but you know he backs off just in time, and AMS has now got the sightline onto Mookie, who might peek a little bit too far. Take a shot, but nice aggression from Ubers to keep him back, and he has the battalions back up ready. He's going to pop it off ready, and now the sound lets ANTIC know that they can't push because they will be pushing into a battalion's backup.
But do they actually want to push? All they want. Oh, Ubers is going again really aggressive onto the lobby with his banner. His Arms is getting cleaned up by some stickers from Ill. But this time Ubers can't do much because it looks like Seroton and Serial learned their lesson from the previous time, and now they haven't been forced. The Uber is still in the hands of Seroton, and Lowpander is being quite aggressive onto the lobby side, maybe trying to make something happen there.
Yeah, you need to push out when there's only 10 minutes left in the round and you are down 0-1 in this last match of their tournament life. Whoever loses this is out for good. And we'll see you next year, unfortunately. But they are opting to go back Lowpander are getting into a defensive position once again, while everyone else on ANTIC is sitting in the battlements getting ready to rotate through the river, maybe go for another double soldier bomb or some kind of play here in the river. We do see nice aggression to get them very quickly in there, but that was kind of a waste. They just went really fast and then stopped. They didn't decide to go for a skip jump to make their way into the last at supersonic speeds.
So Ams is back on the soldier, so we're probably gonna see some kind of sack from either Tom or Ams or both of them, who knows. And they should maybe try to make it happen really soon, because Ubers shouldn't have his banner right now because he used it quite recently. So if they want to have some decent try, they have to try right now. And there's only one scout to deny them, because mr.epic is still on the sniper side, so only Funds could be there to deny potentially 2 jump bombing soldiers. So that now is maybe the window ANTIC was looking for until now.
Smear putting a carpet stickies under the balcony, trying to catch out Ubers there, but he backs out just in time. Gonna survive for a little longer. AMS clearing his way through. He looks like he wants to try and make some aggression here through the shutter, because they're clearing the stickies, getting a little help from Scrab there. I don't know if they're going to be opting for this push, just a dry Uber push. The counter battalion backup has been pushed, or popped rather, so AMS is not going to be going for a push here, maybe to just force off that battalion's backup as he tries to peek the shutter very aggressively onto the sniper, but Hildreth's going to spam out with some stickies, and Ubers has popped it off finally to get that shot around the corner and catch out AMS, but AMS will survive, and now that battalion backup has been wasted because Uber's got a little antsy trying to follow up on Hildreth's damage.
It looks like ANTIC
Tom
really understood how to counter the baton's backup, but yeah, Tom is in the backline trying to get... He's on Crayon, but he can only get 1 rocket into 2 rockets into action on mr.epic, but no, Ams dies as well, so both soldiers are dead on the ANTIC side, and that's not good looking when it comes to hold the second point.
We actually see the Conjurer being popped by Mookie, as that was another one that they pulled in. They're running the double banner strat right now, and they were using that to get to the point. Now they're working their way to get onto the cap of the second point. Smear hits a nice little pipe onto Ubers, and Mookie goes down. No soldiers on the side of Lowpander, so ANTIC is going to be responding right away. Smear is going to get a nice little sticky trap onto Funds, and so with that, I think ANTIC are going to be pushing their way into last with this huge numbers advantage.
Yeah, but Ubers and Mookie are responding very soon, so they have to take the trade right now. Maybe try it for Crayon without using it. Ams knows it, and he goes for it. He jumps really deep and gets the Uber out of Crayon. Tom will die for its aggression as well, but look at Seroton. He's already so far back, and he has his full Uber ready to be used. So when Tom... Where's Ubers? Oh,
he was just getting ready for a bomb, and I just wanted to get in there. He's just clearing the way for the rest of his team to work forward. They know they have the numbers advantage, so they want to get on the cap, but the back cap happens. Potato rotates, I'm assuming through main lobby or something. Maybe he hit out in river, but it was...
such a small play from Potato. He knew that Lowpander was going to try something, and he just went unspotted and unseen. And that's now 2 round up for ANTIC, and only 6 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. Lowpander's got to be aggressive, way more aggressive than what they have been in the previous mid, if they want to have a shot to come back.
Mookie going to be running that sniper now, waiting in just a moment so that when ANTIC are checking the classes as a spy, they see there's no sniper, but then Mookie switches to the sniper, so he will be sniper admitted. They might not be expecting that. Hildreth now opting to go for the choke roll out, getting some damage on the players in the big door, as there's a little bit of an exchange underneath the point through the little gap right below the control point. Hildreth very low on health and the choke. They've just alternated on both sides. Tom is now in a position underneath the drop down to flank behind. Nobody's even ready for it. Nobody's waiting for it, so Tom could go for it. Finally, mr.epic turns around. He does sense it for a moment, and Mookie is going to go down to AMS, but Tom is now behind in the choke. Going to be pulling some players back, and some initiation from AMS might be able to open the door. Tom picks up Hildreth and falls off onto Ubers. They're now waiting to go in, and a collapse is going to come down on to Lowpander. They will drop a complete wipe, an ace.
What a mid from Tom. Tom was amazing because he knew he was spotted, but still he stayed there and baited the attention of Fun and mr.epic, so Ams could actually jump in and do a lot of damage. So that was really well coordinated from the 2 soldiers. Now the Uber is already used on the last point onto Smeary and Ams. Mookie dies on the riverside next to Potato. Idris trying to bomb the point, trying to get on some stickies. He actually got 2 frag with the help of mr.epic, and he finally dies for his crime, but the damage is done when it comes to ANTIC, and only Smear is up. That's another ace for Lowpander this time, and maybe ANTIC rushed this push a bit.
Yeah, it's not over yet. We've seen this before, running last to last with a minute to spare, so they can potentially take this round and then take another round. There's 5 minutes left. Absolutely capable of Lowpander to redeem themselves and see what they can do here as they work their way through the drop down. Ubers is going to catch out Tom here. Tom's going to back out through the big door and stay alive for just a moment longer, but AMS is very close, going to be initiating onto Cran, getting some rockets in there, does not manage to get the force off, or well, not the force, the kill, as Mookie is able to get it down. Now they're going to get cap. But in that exchange, we do see Serotonin manage to build up at a bit of an advantage, and now he's only 15 Uber behind when it was a 30 advantage before.
Yeah, Lowpander was kind of slow, maybe just because of arms, like the sheer fact that he jumped right across, maybe it was a surprise to Lowpander, so they had to slow down that push somehow. And now the Ubers are going to be the same. Serotonin just gets his Uber, maybe just in time, and I don't know if Lowpander actually is aware of that.
Lowpander, he is right there. He decloaks. He sees the spy, but Epic is going to get taken down. He calls it just a little bit too late because Mr. Epic was trying to get some pistol shots onto the sentry. Not the time to start pistoling away at the sentry right before an Uber push, and when you hear your teammate calling for a spy. Tom is able to pick up on the Mookie, though, and that's going to slow, once again, this push from Lowpander, and they're going to have to wait for another opportunity to get into this. They're going to be opting to defend second outside of the lobby.
And Mookie's dead, so I'm expecting some off classes, like no cookie cutter lineup now for Lowpander. Oh yes, actually, okay, so he's proving me wrong, going soldier once again. No, but this is surprising because the Uber are the same, and there's a gun onto Potato. He has a level 3 sentry on top of the spawn, left off the spawn, so I was expecting maybe an upcut from Mookie to try to unlock the situation, but apparently it's going to be something different that's going to be tried. Look at Mookie, he's making his way from the water onto the point. He's getting spotted by Tom, so it's going to be a rumble duel from under, and Tom actually wins it. And that should probably shut down the aggression of Lowpander for a while.
So we do see AMS getting some nice aggression over here, trying to push out for ANTIC, but it's not going to work out because, no, he does decide to go back in. Uber's pressuring now, trying to keep him out. AMS is going to have to back off at that time. Fun's now getting into position here. Rotating around, trying to get eyes on where the players are, pistoling very freely. Lowpander, they need to start making a push happen.
Yeah,
here.
look at the clock. Only 3 minutes left, and if they want to have a chance to tie this one and go to a golden cap, they have to cap the round in like the minute to come, and they have to try something really, really quickly. I like how Ubers is getting aggressive, but Smear with a really nice pick onto Idris. That could be the end of it. For Lowpander, Ubers dives as well into the riverside, and with Idris down, this is going to slow down. That's going to throw things down a lot for Lowpander.
Yeah, Mookie is currently underneath with Funds. Funds is going to get trapped by AMS. He is holding off the escape route, and Mookie is the only player left alive beneath the point. He's going to be working his way, trying to get out. AMS gets his equalizer out and is able to get the frag on Mookie as he kills himself. Feels bad, man.
And Ams is still on the prowl. He's going really aggressive onto the riverside. He's on the pack now. He's trying maybe to get a flank happen onto the big door. He hasn't been spotted by anyone, and if he gets down, he may be able to go onto Crayon. And in the meantime, Lowpander is getting ready to push.
This is crunch time now for Lowpander. They have Uber and only 1 minute and 50 to work with. They need to get this round right away, or it's going to be all over for them in this first map of our best of 3. Hildreth now forced off the Uber. Getting some nice pipe spam there. The sentry does go down. AMS is going to be chasing down Hildreth out through the river, but Hildreth survives for just a moment longer. The repush is what's going to be happening right now. We're seeing them flooding in through the river. Uber jumps onto the point, gets good damage on the Potato, rotates into the Sneaky, while the rest of the players are walking forward into the face of Spear. They're going to get the cap off in time, and yes, they do grab the cap with 1 minute 30 left to go. This could go to a 2-2 tie-up if Lowpander can come out at this next mid.
What an aggressive play from Ubers. I think like AMS and Ubers are such aggressive pockets. It's really impressive to see that pretty much everything they try is working out so well for their team. And with that one round for Lowpander, 1 minute, can they do it? 1 minute and 30 seconds actually. There's time for them, but they really, really need this mid.
This mid is absolutely crucial because if they cannot take this mid, they won't be able to push forward and take second and keep the aggression going. Smear now getting in through the choke. Gonna get eyes onto Hildreth, who is also going through the big door. Mookie wrapping for the drop down play. Very shortly, the players are getting trapped in Banana before they can even move forward. Uber's gonna get picked off by MS though, and that's the not exactly what they want here. Mookie also getting cleaned up here. It's looking very bad. AMS and Tom are doing so much work, but they're very low on health. And no, Smear with a nice little sticky is going to deny the escape route of Crayon. Mr. Epic is still alive, though, with 8 HP and a Dream. He's going to get denied with a direct rocket hit from Tom, and that's going to be it. There is no way they can bring this back with 45 seconds left on the clock.
So I feel like I'm going to quote myself, but what a mid from AMS and Tom. Once again, what they did was completely amazing. They denied the aggression
AMS
so well.
is actually on last, and he does get spotted out. Is not going to be able to get the frag here. Oh, he tries to get, no, he's going to get taken down here. Very nice hiding spot there. But yeah, like you said, AMS and Tom very strong at that midpoint. And that will be the end of the round. 20 seconds left to go.
And
Ombrack.
ANTIC takes the first map.
Yeah.
Kind of not really unexpected, but yeah, that's a really good start for this playoff game. Not playoff, but qualifiers game.
Yeah, this game has all the implications of what's going on for the rest of our matches for tomorrow. They're even going to go for a cap of their own if they can stop Hildreth on the point. They're throwing stickies onto the point, but couldn't pick away at it. They could have made it 3-1 there, but it didn't matter. It was just ANTIC's game to win. All they had to do was throw out the match once they won that mid-fight. Very good showing from ANTIC. Showing themselves up as the better team, do you think?
Yeah, I'm actually quite impressed by ANTIC. They actually look like the favorite in my eyes.
So we're going to be kicking it over to our analysts now. And we have Eeply and Jem, the cameraman. Take it away, guys.
Hey, so right, we're back on the little analyst sofa. We have Jem right here. You know, he's doing his own little shift. This is a debut on the sofa. Already getting appreciation from the crowd, and we're going to go straight into some logs. Said, you know, just looking at the logs.
Ubers online, holy shit! Like the damage on Ubers. Like so normally during online, if you don't know, he lives in Latvia, right, or Ukraine? Yeah, Latvia. So he plays on 60 hertz and like 60 ping. It's just. And like he still does really good. He's still top prem, like on the point.
This is known as a very, very strong DM soldier online anyway.
Yeah, and online he just explodes. Like he hits every direct. Like you see him out damaging AMS here, and AMS is like been playing prem for so long.
Exactly. It's like it's impressive numbers, but you're looking at the rest of his team. Like we're looking at Funds 13 for 11, not huge damage numbers, like doing decently well. Mr. Epic doing decently well. Mookie 7 for 18 is
Like
yeah, well, that's it. If ANTIC, you know, can keep up this, it's not constant pressure in the same way as Swift exactly does, but you know, the constant threat of them doing something. It's you know, being a kind of, you could argue, somewhat 7-inspired team.
Yeah.
It makes sense. You know, they can get those kind of couple rounds.
So 7 know they know exactly what they're doing every time, right? They can they're just like if they lose 2 people, they just back out. They control the situation so hard. ANTIC are kind of doing that, but they're so more proactive. Like they're constantly shifting from like one choke point to another. They're trying to poke holes in the defense, and it's just like there's no break for the defensive team.
This is the kind of thing we're seeing from ANTIC as well. Just in general, it's important to mention how, you know, outside of this event, going purely on online stuff, you would expect Lowpander to be the winners. So ANTIC taking the first map here is, I think, it's looking really strong for them, considering the other maps are, I believe, what is it, Badlands and Snakewater, is it? Or yeah. So these are very like standard classic maps with players who've been playing for years and years. Like Gullywash was Lowpander's pick, so now we're going for what is basically both ANTIC's picks. So and I'm kind of expecting to just see ANTIC win this maybe in just 2 maps.
I mean, on the other hand, Badlands is the next map, right? And it's more scout heavy than Gullywash is, definitely. Gullywash is such a soldier and demo heavy map. And I would rate Funds and Mr. Epic above Scrap. So maybe a little bit controversial, but on the DM side and on like they're just Funds being the anchor, Mr. Epic being the playmaker.
Well, that and the fact that Lowpander tend to, like, they have a tendency to put a lot of resources into scouts anyway. They rely quite heavily because they know that they have very strong DM scouts, and like their playstyle allows those scouts to make really big things happen.
Yeah.
So if it's a better map for scouts anyway, and they're, you know, naturally putting more resources in just because of their playstyle, I said, you know, as much as Scrap and Potato are like certainly very, very competent scouts, they don't quite have the same reputation as Mr. Epic and Funds have.
Another point to note out is Hildreth and Smear. Like, the discrepancy between those two players is Smear didn't know exactly what he's doing every single time. You watch his POV and he sees something happen and he just reacts perfectly and he responds to that and he makes the best of the situation. Hildreth is, I don't want to call him out, but he gets caught out quite a bit.
That's it. I think, you know, if you ask most people who've been interested in European TF2 for quite a while, like, Smear just has a much stronger legacy than Hildreth has. Hildreth has probably been, like, more active lately, like, more successful lately, but Smear does have a certain legacy, certain level of consistency.
Smear's been around for so long, and he is really good. I don't know what's keeping him away from the top level, but, like, the very top of Prem, I mean. Like,
yeah.
He should be there. He really should. If not for Ali and Cadus, and obviously gods.
Exactly. In terms of the rest of it, you know, looking at Crayon, 6 deaths, Serotonin, 3 deaths, like clearly quite a slow game. No medic was really dying that much.
Serotonin has the experience here. I mean, Crayon's a little bit inexperienced. He's played at the bottom of Prem for a few seasons. Serotonin's been mid-Prem for as long as I can remember. Like, as long as I've been in the game, Serotonin's been there. He's been at the top. So maybe he has some mechanics, but like there's something like similar to Smear, right? There's something like keeping him away. There's some like extra level of like game sense keeping him away from the top level of Prem.
Anyway, I think we're getting people into the server. I don't know how long it'll be before we can throw it back to Ombrack and Rowe. Do we have any idea what the state of things is? Okay, we're just missing a couple players, so is there anything particularly you want to mention just before we throw it back to the casters?
Something I want to see is Mookie being more proactive. So it's interesting, like when Mookie played in high, he did whatever the fuck he wants, right? Pardon the language. But he played Flog Pyro, he played Engineer, he played everything he wanted in high. And as he rose up the ranks, he just plays more and more like the passive soldier style.
Yeah.
Still a little bit like well-timed aggression, but still.
This is kind of what was mentioned yesterday in, I can't remember which game. The whole kind of evolution of Mookie and Lowpander, it's kind of gone more from this team with a constant flex, constant off-class, this kind of thingy, to having Mookie play a much more ordinary
they've lost
roamer
the magic.
role.
Like
so, yeah, so if it's not working with this kind of standard play, there's always the option of Mookie just going back and, you know, going for the really wild stuff.
Yeah.
Why not, you know,
yeah,
suddenly run out of last with a Widowmaker and just try and two-shot people?
It could work. You saw
it's been done before.
A couple of players doing that. I mean, Mookie, like, he's still off classes. He still goes spy sometimes, but like, if you're playing against him, you can tell when he's going to go spy, right? You see a stalemate, you see like you've got Uberado, it's even. He's going to be spy.
Yeah, like you can rely on it so much by this point. You know, if there's an opportunity, he'll take it. He always does.
And it's kind of diminished by the pause, but before the game as well, right? So what he can do on mid, like, is so limited because like you can check what class he's playing, right? You can check sniper, you can check spy, you can check heavy, all the stuff he likes to do. And yeah, it's just less of a surprise factor, less of the wild card. It's just more style, more sixes, you know?
More playing the regular video game.
The regular game.
Crazy.
The video game.
So yeah. Personally, I'm hoping to see, you know, ANTIC come out really strong into this map. As I said, I think they're perfectly capable of taking this with just this map as a win, and
they definitely could do.
Yeah, and then I'd be interested to see what they'd be able to do to a team like Swift, because there's quite a big skill difference.
I'm more gonna put the weight on funds than mr.epic. I think they definitely could put more of the pressure on this map. Like this Badlands is such a twisty, turning map. Like. You could get some scouts doing some crazy things. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if we're able to throw it back to Rowe and Ombrack to see what their thoughts are, just before we, just as we get the last couple of players in. All right, we'll send it back to you guys, and we'll see you probably about 30 minutes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, at the Insomnia LAN. How are you doing tonight? I like that guy. Very excited for TF2 here with ANTIC versus Lowpander coming up very shortly now. Our second map of this best of 3 series.
So everything that Happily and Jem said was true. That's why they're here. I just want to add that we've seen these two teams facing each other on Badlands already on stream today, or what it may be yesterday. I don't remember. I've lost track of time. It's LAN. I don't sleep anymore anyway.
That's why it's called Insomnia Land.
Yeah,
you don't
exactly.
Sleep.
Dr. Rowe just telling you the things. And ANTIC won. They won 4-3. I think they won the last round in like the last 5 seconds, so it was really, really tight game. But in the end, ANTIC won, so they kind of know what the formula is to win this game. I remember there was a lot of quickie bombs involved for both teams, actually. There was heavy involved, and there was some science on ANTIC's side. They knew how to counter Muki going heavy. I think Tom, again, he had great mids on Gullywash, and I think he was one of the better players for ANTIC when they played on Badlands versus Lowpander, because he had this really, really fast speed shot onto Idrith and completely denying the demo man to play the mids. And when you don't have a demo man to play the mid, of course you're in the back foot all the time. So I'm expecting ANTIC to try to play the same way, but when you're Lowpander and you want to, you know you've already lost this map once, you got to do your homework and try to fix your mistake. So maybe they're gonna have something different. I remember Idrith went onto the balcony side a lot of times, and that's why he got picked up by Tom. So maybe he's gonna try something different, maybe the slope, waiting for Muki. But yeah, this is gonna be interesting, because if Lowpander loses now, they're out. They can't win Insomnia anymore, and they might as well go home tonight, like miss the photo and all. Like, no, don't do that, guys. You have to win. You have to take this map home, so you have a chance to meet Swift tomorrow in the loser grand final. So there's so much at stake right now for both of these teams, and this means a lot of pressure on everyone's shoulders. Because when you're amps, you're trying to win this map so you can have a drink, have a good night of sleep, so you have a shot tomorrow. So this map is so important for both of teams. Like, people need to realize on LAN setting, with so much pressure, we're bound to see mistakes happen, and it's going to be to which team is going to make the best out of them.
Yeah, I think you brought up a good point here with that land pressure. You brought this up earlier. A LAN setting has so many different factors for how well a team can do. But one of the biggest things here is if momentum goes in favor of ANTIC very early on, if they get a 1-0 lead, a 2-0 lead, a 3-0 lead, I don't think Lowpander can recover from that.
No, especially when
because they know that this is the last map. They can't. They have to have
exactly.
a round to start with to keep that momentum in their favor, so they can say, okay, we win this map, we take it to a third, we win on Snakewater. That's Lowpander's game plan right now. If they get too far of a gap between the rounds, it's going to be too hard for them to come back.
Couldn't have been said that better. So yeah, this is a really important map now.
Lowpander's life on the line here. Insomnia Land, the round 5 lower bracket. Hildreth now rolling out for his team. He's getting to the mid, very reasonably timed. Smear is just now getting to the choke. Gets an early shot onto Hildreth now. But the rotation from the closet jump is going to get onto Hildreth, who's going to sit on top of the fence there before getting cleaned up by AMS. He's rotating through the house now. So Crayon's got to be ready for that bomb. He actually jumps in through the choke and is going to juggle Epic, Mr. Epic on his head before getting taken down by Funz, who's now working his way through. They're actually going to get taking control of this mid. Serotonin did stay alive and is going to be keeping Potato alive as well as they back out. This is a very good start for Lowpander. They're getting the first mid.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's a sign, but Muki was on Soldier. He wasn't running heavy on this mid, so maybe something happened in Lowpander's head. They maybe have found a clever solution to counter that. But yeah, the first mid is for Lowpander. Now the Ubers are the same, and we know how Badlands last is hard to push. It's really cellmatey point. Many players don't like him because when you get a gun like Scrap is doing right now, it's really, really a pain to try to make something happen. So, and for both teams, because it's really hard to push on and it's really hard to push from as well when you want to get onto the second point because of the respawn times and stuff like that. So we could be stuck here for a while.
It is quite frankly a double-edged sword when it comes to pushing or just pushing in general. You push, you fail to push, and then they try and push their way out, but then they can't push out because the respawns, all these different factors coming into play for Badlands, the map itself. So easy to backcap, so much pressure. It's really hard for teams to make a change, but we do see Muki here getting some initiation with a little bit of help of Ubers. Is going to exchange on AMS. They both trade 1 for 1. Some players onto the point. It's going to be a bloodbath as Potato gets picked off by a nice pipe from Hildreth here, who switched hats, I noticed, in spawn. Ubers just needs to clear those stickies and get onto the point. He could finish off that cap at any moment. He is going to work his way through the lower area, and the rest of Lowpander have backed off to Spire to defend, but that back cap time is really big.
So this exact same play, we saw Lowpander executing this on the previous game they played versus ANTIC on Badlands, where they had that Hildreth was using the Quickie Bomb launcher, and he tried to, like, both the scouts and Muki jumped onto the point and got it twice. This time he was running the regular, no, he's on Quickie, so yeah, it's the exact same plan. Oh, he gets picked up by a sticky trap from Smear and Funds and Uber Dice as well, so there's a big window now for ANTIC to push from, and they're going in. Muki, he has to fall back to try to meet his medic onto the choke, and but look at this, Lowpander players have already respawned. Yeah,
the spawn times are very, very strong in favor of the team that owns the Spire. Scribe going to be getting out to the point right away, but Ubers is knocking him off. AMS trying to get his way in through. It's going to get juggled. Tries to get through the resub. He does not get out. Fun's going to clean him up, and now that pick is going to open the door for another push with the number advantage. You do see Smear is backing up, trying to throw some pipes through this upper lobby, but Crayon is getting into position. They're trying to opt for which direction to go. I do hear a Natasha Heavy in play on Potato. He is going to be slowing players down with every single bullet, and Uber's going to die to the trap that Smear put on top of the lobby.
This map is so unforgiving. I mean, the way ANTIC tried to push was really good because they got 3 frags, so obviously you want to push out of it, but they weren't even on the Spire, that the people of Lowpander had respawned already, and then you can't do anything more. So we've talked about how Prolance is actually happening, but this is Badlands, and this is the flows of the map in all of their glory.
Players now finding a position as Mookie is going to get sniped by Potato, playing that defensive sniper, going to be rotating through the main lobby, getting a charge shot onto the player here. He gets a body shot on Ubers, but will not be able to clean up on it. Ditto might even get picked off here with some spam here, but gets arrowed up immediately back in the fray. And that Potato sniper is really going to be putting a wrench into Lowpander's plans for peeking and pushing.
But do you really want to kill Mookie? When it comes to holding that, do you really want to give him the opportunity of having an off-class? He hasn't done it right now, and of course what I'm saying is stupid because you want to get as many frags as you can, but yeah, getting Mookie is quite a... It's something to think about. Ubers is running the Battalions backup. Mookie has respawned as Robin with no unlocks whatsoever besides the classic Romer set, and now the Uber has been used on top right onto Ubers. He can't do anything. Look at the sentry gun. He's denying the Uber so perfectly, and now Seroton is sitting on a 100% ad, and but again, is the ad enough to push out of Badlands last? I'm not sure. Amps looks like he think it's enough. I'm questioning his play, but why not? Make me laugh any day.
They're pushing in, but Ubers has popped up the battalions back up. There's going to be a very good defensive hold to hold against this, but Cran is still going to go down because Ubers decided to wrap through the lobby. A lot of players on the Spire now. We do see a bomb from Smear trying to get on top. He does finish to take out Funds, but Mookie and Ubers have grabbed their own picks, and they are able to get the back cap on. We do see Lowpander getting their first round thanks to Ubers popping that battalions back up and getting behind. With the help of his teammates, they were able to go for the last cap and take it down. Now we do see some retaliation from Lowpander. They're not going to be going down without a fight.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say so, but that was so obvious that they're gonna get punished because, again, Badlands is in some ways it's such a stupid map when it comes to pushing out of last. So in the end, Lowpander played it well, but it's really hard for ANTIC to push out of this. Mookie is still on the soldier on this mid, so I'm expecting some double bomb from him and Ubers.
Players are getting into position now. We do see both of them getting roughly there at the same time. Some first sticky coming out from Smear, gonna chip away at Hildreth, and now we do see Scrab able to take down Mookie almost immediately, but Ubers is really close on the slope, trying to get some pressure onto the medic. Cannot get that damage done, and I think Lowpander is deciding to back out as AMS is working his way with Tom as well, coming in through the patio there, juggling the medic.
Scrab is there as well, trying to get some nice shot onto Crayon. Gets one, but not two, and it gets cleaned up by mr.epic. That was really close from Crayon. He was really close to dying there.
And now the numbers are in favor of Lowpander as soon as Mookie respawns. And there's 10 seconds left for Scribe and Tom, so they have a two-man essentially. Working their way now through the choke is going to be a bomb for Ubers, but he gets piped in the air. No one can follow up with a bomb, but AMS is jumping, spamming some rockets, and now by this time the players have respawned. One player on the point, it's Funds, who's getting juggled. A little bit going to rotate out through the valley. Ubers is walking in, trying to get a shot. He is going to exchange with AMS there, as AMS got a nice shot onto Funds there as he was trying to make an escape. 2 for 1, that's definitely a good trade, and now with a number advantage, but no Uber on Serotonin. We do see full Uber on the side of Lowpander. They will be able to make a play here.
Funds was so close to get a drop onto Seroton there, where he just flanked under the middle and got a one nice shot onto the medic, but then the Uber was forced. And now Muki is trying as the flank is actually real from Tom, and I think Potato was with him, and they got a Uber out of Crayon, and it's the situation could be saved now for ANTIC if they manage to get out alive. No, it's Serotonin.
Woo! The bomb from Mookie! Yes! The air shot is going to take down Serotonin now with 2 players down, the demo and the medic. That is very little to work with here. Potato on the slope, going to get cleaned up by Hildreth with a nice little sticky there. This is everything they need, but AMS is hiding inside the house. Going to get a shot onto Funds. Can he clean it up? He's missing his shots. Finally takes him down, but it gets traded in the response. Such a good bomb from Mookie to open the door for Lowpander to secure their lead even further.
So apparently he can play soldier as well. And
yeah, he's not just an off-class main. He knows what it takes on a LAN setting. When you're a soldier, you stay soldier. Forget the heavy. It's those 5-ping rockets that come into play.
And we can see a Pyro onto Potato's hand and this sentry gun built by Scrap. So it's, again, even though Lowpander has the Uber hide, it's going to be really hard for them to push onto this last because of the heavy hold that ANTIC has in store for them. I can't find Hildreth. I don't know if he's running the Quickie Bomb launcher, but if not, it's just going to be another single Uber onto Ubers. Uber's trying to make his way onto the top right and make something happen.
He does have that Quickie Bomb launcher, and he's trying to get some spam onto this sentry, but the Pyro is air blasting everything away. The gun stays alive, and Mr. Epic is going to be killed there. AMS is going to pick up onto Mookie as well, but Funds did manage to pick up Tom before getting cleaned up by that sentry now. We do see Ubers backing out with Hildreth as they set up some sticky bombs, but with the Quickie Bomb you can only set 4 at a time while he waits to reload. We do see Ubers going for a big bomb onto Trash, going to be rotating around, getting damage onto Smear, but Smear is pushing forward on the side of the Spire, and the respawn is ready. Mr. Epic is on the sniper, going to try and get a shot here at any moment. And Mookie and Ubers are coming in, forcing off the Uber in Trash, and Potato is going to get cleaned up here. Mr. Epic getting pressured at the choke by AMS, who is getting shot at by Funds. Can Funds get cleaned up? He does. Finally, AMS doing a job there. The Spire hasn't been capped yet, and Ubers is still alive, running through the choke. A fadeaway. Mookie kills himself, trying to rocket jump away there. Ubers is still alive, and
Ubers is going for Seroton. He's uncontested. He gets 2 rockets onto the medic. What happened there? No one knew that. Seemed to know that Ubers was in the backline and jumped completely free onto Seroton. Like, there was no scout to deny him because both were dead. So it's really nice play from Ubers. Really nice read onto the situation. And now once again, Crayon has a comfortable Uber ad.
Mr. Epic on that sniper is going to be scoping things out. He does see Smear at the shutter and calls out for his team that, hey, Spire's free, let's walk in. Trap gets detonated by Smear, trying to catch some players off. He's resetting some new traps here in lobby because there is a significant Uber advantage on the side of Lowpander, but they're wasting time. They have to finish this cap off and get ready for their push. Funds has messed up his jump using the Boston Basher to boost his way on top of the Spire. And the advantage is getting closer and closer to a even Uber instead.
Amps is on the tube above the point, ready to go down. The Uber has been used on main onto Ubers and Ilya. Sentry is finally getting fragged, and now the people of ANTIC are rotating spawn doors. Not much is being accomplished there by Lowpander. Ubers actually tried with Potato, but that's maybe not enough for another push, another attempt from the Lowpander who's just going back. But as I said, Ilya is just peeking on top left, getting some quickie bomb onto the last point, but is he gonna get cleaned up? I don't know. Arms is still there, sitting on top of the point, being kind of useless from now on. But as I said, I get the frag onto Mookie, of course, and kind of a poor Uber onto Seroton. He was, I guess, forced to use because of the sniper main. But
actually, Seroton popped his Uber right away because he saw the player jumping to the point. He wanted to force the Uber to get onto it and stop the point, but he should have called for his teammate to do that instead. So now with a huge Uber disadvantage here, we're going to be seeing Uber ready on the side of Lowpander. Mr. Epic is sniping from main, and it's going to get eyes onto the point. The point is completely uncontested here. There are no stickies to get it. Bud's going to get on the cap. He's going to finish it off, but they're rushing to the point. Scrap is on heavy. He's going to be shooting as many players as he can get sniped by Mr. Epic. And a follow-up snipe from Tom. It's going to take him down. It's just the medic alive. Mookie getting a nice little direct rocket. Smears the last player alive. Hildreth thinks to hit it. The pan comes down and takes him down, and the cap goes off. Hildreth will be able to cap it for Lowpander, and they will be taking their second round in the second map of this best of 3.
That was kind of a scrappy fight, but hats off to Mr. Epic, just sitting there on the main, getting three nice headshots, and then pan kill onto Smeary. That was pretty nice of him. Nice kill streak for the Russian scout. And now, yeah, 2-0 for Lowpander. That's exactly what they needed to come back into this game, and they're executing the gap perfectly.
Over at this mid-fight, we do see Smear getting there much faster than Hildreth, who actually beefed his rollout. Muma and Chad, if you know what I'm talking about. Hildreth now getting to the sticky of Smear, who's going to be shutting him out. Uber's now working once again through the slope, trying to get an opportunity there, but cannot get his way in. Produces Serotonin sitting comfortably at the choke, while the rest of ANTIC have taken control of the midpoint, but a follow-up bomb from Ubers is going to get into the play. He's solo on health cleaned up by Scrab very nicely there. Hildreth also going to be followed up by Potato here, who's rushing into the house. Epic going to clean up, and Tom is going to get taken out by Funds, who's sitting in the window and rotating through. He's going to meet up with Scrab here. Gets so much damage onto him. He's going to get followed up. He gets AMS in the process. Epic gets taken out by Potato there, and now ANTIC finally getting their first mid of this Badlands match. Cran did die there, so no Uber on their side.
So it was the first mid they took, and it's probably not a coincidence, but that was the first time that Muki ran heavy to mid. So it's like they have a mid tailored against Muki, but nothing else. And Muki might as well not play heavy anymore versus ANTIC when it comes to Badland, because it's like he's making his team lose the middle. And now here is a chance for ANTIC to come back into this fight, onto this game. They have 40% ad, and they got to try to do something really quickly.
But the Uber is very close. 8 seconds left to go before that Uber is ready on the side of Crayon. They're building all the way in spawn as they rotate around. There is Mookie above the point to slow players from getting on that cap, and now the Uber is going to be ready for Crayon as they work their way in, trying to clean up the players. Potato behind the point is going to take down Mr. Epic, but Uber's is going to clean up Tom, and now Potato working his way, trying to get out, but gets cleaned up by Funds, and now Funds is ready to move forward. He sees the players, and Uber's is going to jump in, try and catch out Smear, but Smear gets cleaned up. Funds is going to get cleaned up by AMS, and AMS takes a third shot to take down the Ubers. No soldiers on the side of Lowpander, and now with just Crayon and Hildreth alive with an Uber, there could be a repush here very shortly to try and force out a player, but no, they're just going to be opting to sit on the Spire. ANTIC playing very defensively, building up this Uber, but Lowpander will be pushing out here very shortly if they decide to go for it.
Yeah, this is going to be really risky for them, and it looks like they're not going to go for it. They know one of the round they got was by a mistake from ANTIC who tried to repush from that, so they know this is not a good idea. And we can see Ubers with the buttons backup ready to be used maybe, and Serotonin with almost Uber ready. Is Smeary running? Yeah, Smeary is running quickie bomb launcher as well. We told you that was like one of the feature of these two teams on this map, and they're gonna try to make something happen. If I remember correctly, when it comes to ANTIC, what they like to try is commit all of their team, but Smeary and Serotonin, onto the medic, trying to get the Uber forced out of Crayon. So maybe they're gonna try to do it again, not focusing on the point but onto the Uber.
Actually, right now on the point are some stickies from Smear, who is able to lay down just a small little bit of number of stickies there to clear the point. So the point is completely open for a play here. Wrapping around lower, we do see AMS and Tom getting into position now. They can go straight for the point because there are no stickies blocking it, no one in the tube. They're going to spam out Hildreth, taking a lot of damage. Now he's going to be rotating to the resub. Stay healthy, and AMS and Tom have backed out. They didn't want to go for a play there, but I think they could have had an opportunity to get to the point there. Like I said, no one is defending the point. It is a free cap, essentially. It's inviting them, calling them to touch it.
Yeah, because I don't think the sentry gun can actually hit people who are going to go from the bottom right onto the point because of the pillars. So yeah, that's actually maybe the window of opportunity they need, but Hildreth is as sticky as on the bottom left as we speak. So it seems like he has the stream of another screen and can hear us.
Teleporter down thanks to Smear. I think that's going to be calling the push here very shortly. Probably not. But Smear is getting very aggressive here as he set up some stickies and trying to spam some pipes, trying to connect onto the sentry. The sentry gets spammed down by AMS with a follow-up from the barrels, but Tom might get cleaned up here underneath. No, he is going to back out just in time. AMS very low on health, but he's going to get arrowed up back into the fray and staying alive. Mookie does have the Conjurer, and so do I hear a battalion's backup. Ubers pops it right away. He's going to be rotating in through main, walking in through the staircase, but decides not to go for a Potato, and they're going to stack to the point. Hildreth runs in, is able to clean them up with 2 clean stickies. And now we do see a reset.
Yeah, I'm expecting Potato to come back onto the with a sniper class because he's not going to be of any use on scout now. We saw right there another defensive Baton's backup from Ubers where he just tried to peek and see if there's something he can do with it, but it wasn't the case. And of course, Potato went back on scout because they definitely don't want to listen to me. But I assume that means ANTIC as a plan.
Woo! Smear gets taken down by mr.epic playing that defensive sniper. That shot is going to be very crucial for maybe peeking a little bit of ground, maybe get another pick or find their way out of this last. They look like they just want to sit on last entirely. With a 2-0 lead, they just want to play the defensive game. They know they could probably potentially push their way out, but it's too much of a risk with the respawn time and the back cap potential. They're going to be playing it safe despite this.
Bro, I want to drag your attention on something really important.
Oh no.
There's a functioning teleporter onto last, and maybe frag is on the way.
Telefrag could happen actually if the position is behind the pillar, so players aren't going to be spamming it. They're refocusing on the sentry, so there is a small chance for a telefrag, like you say. Warding in, the sentry gun does get taken down, and he's building it right back up because he's got a level 3 dispenser with all the ammo and metal ready to refill it as he sets it back up. Spam is coming in to take out the sentry. The pipe spam is very strong.
So when jumped through main, it went really deep onto Ether. That opens maybe the point for some double skull shenanigans from the bottom right. Another banner has been used by Uber, so he released it, maybe trying to go aggressive into the lobby, but now
no stickies on the point. Potato's going to get to the point. Mookie is going to jump onto it now. Fall from Scrap, but he's going to get cleaned up by mr.epic here. And another fall from Tom. He's going to get retaliated by Ubers. It's exchanging left and right. The point is death. Don't touch it because Smear has now got the pipes out. He is connecting them, and Smear is going to get taken down by Hildreth now. Playing that defensive class. AMS is working his way behind the point. He's going to jump for it. Juggle onto Crayon, try and force that Uber up, but no, he cannot. That's 3 players down, but they've already respawned.
Seroton, what are you doing? Why didn't you kill yourself so you could get the points? I don't understand. All of your teammates have done that. You're a really bad team player.
Yeah, Seroton, you need to dive bomb the point with the Uber. That's how it works.
I'm so disappointed. But
We
yeah,
do
jokes
see
aside, they actually tried to do a Lowpander play. They tried to go for the last cap, so it didn't quite work out for some reason. Again, no off classes onto ANTIC side. I don't really see why, because nothing has worked so far, and I wouldn't be against something kind of new. mr.epic trying to be a killer there onto Smear's head, but doesn't quite hit the shot. And AMS is on spy.
Espionage. You see him getting in position here. Hopefully I'm not speaking too loudly. I don't know if this cast can echo to the side of Lowpander. Hearing that there is a spy, AMS is going to be right away. Get the shot on mr.epic, but immediately retaliated by the sentry. Tom managed to pick up Mookie there, though. So a 2-for-2 exchange.
Yeah, AMS decided to go for the sniper. Kind of a questionable pick there, but I assume he was just getting covered up anyway. He was discovered, so there's not much more he could have done there. And the frag on Suzuki is quite useless as well, as in it doesn't open anything new for ANTIC. The clock is ticking. I think we're gonna get close to a round reset there, so ANTIC has to try something maybe a bit more risky there if they want to make it 2-1.
Yeah, Lowpander currently playing very defensively, try to run down this clock as much as possible. We do see on the timer here, currently 7.5 minutes have elapsed in this round, essentially. So there's only 3 minutes left before the round will reset and we'll just go to another mid. So by all means, Lowpander wants to throw things down. Ubers is going to be able to pick up Tom, who was spamming from the barrels. Was able to get taken down now, and
I like how Funz put his sentry on the right edge, because it's impossible to be spammed by the soldier from the main. So like the sentry is virtually undefeatable. It's a really smart play from the Welsh engineer, I guess. Yeah, he's not a scout anymore. He's an engineer now. And
yeah, but the sentry being on that right side, it's not going to get any.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally just a mask, a facade. They think a sentry is going to be a factor in this push, but because of where it is, the positioning of it, it can't be spammed out. I think ANTIC need to realize that it's not going to be a factor.
What is AMS doing? He's on Pyro.
Pyro, actually, I was thinking about this earlier. I'm not even kidding. I was thinking about this earlier. Pyro into upper left into a sentry is so strong because it can knock players out. Actually, he's going to be opting to go lower right. Spam players off the point, but mr.epic has the sight line lined up.
And their stickies ready to greet him anyway.
As well, Hildreth watching that sticky trap very closely, but AMS is going to be popping Uber right in away. They're rushing for the point. Potato going to the pop. AMS is spamming it while they try and get the cap. Hildreth is going to get spammed off the point. AMS is on the Pyro. He's blowing players off the point. He gets juggled on top, but he's got the high ground once again. Going to be rotating around behind Crayon. He is spotting it, but he's shooting the wrong player. He's going to get cleaned up by Funz, and Hildreth is going to get taken out by Smear. The cap is ready. Scrab gets onto it, and the cap goes. ANTIC are not out of this yet. They aren't going to give up now. They are 1-2 in this round.
AMS hopefully you can hear me. You're a genius, man. Like, your pyro play was so surprising. I didn't really get it, but in the end it worked so well, and it actually break the safe. And now it's 2-1 in favor of Lowpander. And if ANTIC can land a really good mid as they did for the previous one, they actually have a really good chance to come back into this game.
I would love to see that play-by-play run through potentially later on in the analysis, but right now we're talking about this mid-fight. We do see Hildreth coming in through the choke point, getting to take a sticky from Smear right away, and that damage is going to be crucial because now Tom is getting behind the flank, going to juggle Mookie into the air, but Mookie's going to stay alive and Fun's going to clean up Tom. And now ANTIC are crumbling, no soldiers on the side of them, and a follow-up rocket is going to be able to take out Cran, but Serotonin is still alive. He's backing out with Potato on the Grey Bridge. They're getting spammed out. No heals on the side of Lowpander, but they will take the mid and potentially the Spire.
And if they actually can get the Spire, the frag onto Creon from AMS might end up being kind of useless because they won't be able to push out of the push with the Uber ad they're gonna have. So tough luck, AMS. You can't be successful every time. It looks like he's getting really aggressive into the lobby. Maybe trying to go deep onto the Stick is on trash, but they don't kill anyone. The Uber has been forced anyway thanks to Mookie and the Stickies, and now there's some cap time from ANTIC onto the Spire.
Uber's still very close to the Spire, going to actually knock Smear off the point, and he's going to crater, and Ubers gets out alive with just 25 HP. They will be able to get the cap, but the retaliation Uber advantage, rather, is in their favor. Funz is on last. He was able to go towards and kill Tom in the drop down. Now rotating over to the point. We do see Scrap very aggressive, trying to take down Ubers as much as he can, but he's going to get cleaned up by Mr. Epic's pistol. So now with these two frags, ANTIC are on their last. They're down numbers. They're very scared of this very small Uber advantage, which is actually evening out because some poor healing overall from Crayon, I would only assume. Or maybe just good building from Serotonin.
So when you're Lowpander now, knowing how hard is it to push from your last, you can actually park the bus, sit there for like 7 minutes and 35 seconds and take the map home. So how badly do you want to win this?
I think it's time to play slow. They have the Uber advantage. They're just going to be waiting for them to sack players because one mistake is all it takes for them to push out. In fact, if you want to go even deeper, we do see AMS and Potato on the Assassin classes, the pick classes here. AMS on Spy, watching the lower left area. If you really want to do a play here, and if you're ANTIC, I think you want to bait into pushing, let them try and work their way in, and then repush. Once again, Fun's rushing to the point. He's going to get taken down. The sticking trap was detonated by Smear, who's now focused all his attention onto the tunnel. Mookie did rush forward and take out AMS and get out alive. So now a 1-for-1 exchange means nothing's going to happen. Like you said, it's going to be a park the bus situation.
Yeah, and it's I really have a hard time seeing how ANTIC can get out of this. So maybe another hero pyro from AMS would save the day. But if you're Lowpander now, you're actually. But as I said, Potato gets a nice headshot onto Ubers, and when you take it on Ubers, you actually take down a banner with him, which could be really crucial when it comes to Uber training after fights. So AMS knows that, and he's going really, really deep into the lobby.
But Mookie is waiting in trash just outside of the shutter. Can't get in position to potentially take out the medic, but he walks out just in time. Hildreth gets taken down by a fully charged body shot through the shutter as it opens up, and Funz is going to be pressuring so much damage on AMS. He's going to get taken down here, but no, an arrow will save his life. Mr. Epic rotating over to the trash, going to be moving in. It's Mookie on last. He was able to take down Tom and AMS. No soldiers on the side of ANTIC, and now Lowpander has a position to go in, but Smear is going to deny Ubers from walking in through the shutter, and now it's going to be a full reset. Both soldiers on both sides completely eliminated from the round.
And I really like how ANTIC is actually trying to make something happen. They know that if they do nothing, they're just going to lose it, but it's really hard to come out with clever solutions to this hold, and I like that they actually try many different things, and I hope it actually works out because I wanna see aggressive TF2 be rewarded at I61. So
Hildreth's actually stuck in barrels right now, trying to spam out Smear. He might get out, but AMS is right behind him, going to clean him up thanks to the help of Scrab. AMS beeping a shot there, but now with no demo men on the side, ANTIC has to take this opportunity to push out if they want to take this round because there's only 5 minutes left in the round. And if they don't take it, they're going to be losing this map and denying them the guaranteed win, or at least forcing it to a golden cap here. Mookie now rotating in through the drop down, getting pressure onto Scrab. Medic is very close and could be pressured. Mookie is very close on the drop down, going to back out instead. And now a full reset has happened. All the players are on Spire. Mookie near drop down. ANTIC need to push out, and they have Potato on Sniper fully charged shot. Mookie gets taken down by AMS, who's working his way in through the resupply.
Potato is sneaking his way up to maybe getting a shot onto Crayon who's Spire, but he eventually gets cleaned up by Fonz. Ams is back, but I think
Hildred
he's
knows.
spotted. Yeah, and Ams is in big trouble right now. Mookie is on Spy. Is he only checking off classes, or does he actually gets out of the spawn?
Yeah.
And it looks like Lowpander doesn't only want to park the bus, they actually want to make it 3-1.
They want to ensure this victory because with only 4 minutes on the clock, if they take this round, it could be disastrous for ANTIC. They would have to mount a impressive rally to push forward. Now Mookie just slowly walking into last. He's essentially spy crab walking. And there's no stickies on point, no soldier.
Cap.
He could go for the cap right now because it's only Tom alive. If he can time this right, he could even get the stab onto Tom, who's very suspicious of something going on here. Meanwhile, in the front lines, we do see some players getting into position. They want to push out because they know the time is against them. But Mookie is now rotating over to the right side. Can't quite get onto Tom because Tom is so suspicious of this. He can just run to the point. He's not going to open up any opportunity, not leave his back open to any susceptible stabs.
Hams is still behind. He's actually trying to jump onto Crayon. He gets one nice rocket, maybe two, but Crayon surfs away. And he actually gets pistoled down by Mr. Epic. The Patron's Bucket has been used by Ubers for some reason. And Mookie, look at Mookie, he's just crouching.
He's so close. Mookie can get right onto it. If he decloaks, they will be hearing it, but he's so close. He could potentially get the stab before the reaction time happens. He is now recharged his cloak and dagger. Gonna get into position. We do hear a cheers, Doctor, but thankfully it was from AMS on Spy, who's gonna be opting go for a defensive spy play. And Potato, there's double spy going on right now on the side of ANTIC.
Oh, that was so close. That was so close, but Seroton was aware that something was going on. And no, I feel like I have to talk quietly so we don't get the spy discovered from the enemy team. As I said, he's getting cleaned up by Mr. Epic, but do they know about Potato? I don't know about that.
He's so close. Funz is dancing on top of his head, but Potato stays alive. He's getting in position now. Cran could get stabbed here, and this could open the door for ANTIC to come back in. They are going for a push now. Potato rushes forward. He almost decloaks in the face of Funz, but now he is ready and in position. He could go for a decloak here. He does decloak finally. Spots Mookie, goes for the stab, takes it down. And with Hildred down from Smear, getting the trap off, he's going to get cleaned up by Ubers. And AMS is going to walk forward, force off the Uber from Crayon. No, Crayon doesn't even take enough damage. He's going to hold up, but Town's back and push by Ubers. He's pushing it at a bad time. He does use it now, finally. No Uber need to be forced off because they have the defensive buff. He's aggressing on to AMS, who's going to be getting out just in time. The Spire's going to get capped by ANTIC. They need this cap if they want to push into mid. And now the Cran is on bridge. Scrab gets a shot from a nice rocket by Ubers. And AMS gets taken down. So many players falling from ANTIC. They are getting trapped in their lobby. They have the Spire, but they need to back off now because Mookie is pressuring from Trash, and they're trapped in the lobby.
I don't really understand why Potato went for the Mookie kill when he was inspired, because if he had been a bit more patient, he probably could have gone Crayon, and that would have been maybe a round for, or at least a cool Reaper from ANTIC. But when you're Spy and when you see a back, you want to go for it. You want to go for the sneaky kill. So I guess the pressure was too strong for Potato. He had to go for the bomb. But now it's only 1 minute and 15 seconds for ANTIC. The situation is looking more and more grim, and they're gonna try to push out of this. But this is looking so tricky right now.
AMS on the Grey Bridge, though, is going to initiate onto the Spire, start the cap right away. But there is a player trying to go for last. That was Mookie pushing in. He's going to trade 1-for-1 with Tom. Hildred jumping up to the bats. Going to get some nice damage onto the players, but it is very desperate to get on Smear. Up top, can't get the arrow, but Cran's trying to get the shot. He's lining it up, but can't. Scrab gets the kill there, and Mr. Epic, as well as Mookie and Uber are going to spawn, but Mookie might be staying inside of the forward spawn.
It's 50 seconds. They actually can do it if they're going to be quick enough. Mr. Epic is just going out of the map because he can't fight on his own, and 40 seconds, it's actually so possible, but they have to be quicker than that. I think they have to put some cap time onto the second already, and no one is there already.
Wow. I want to talk right now really quick on what just happened. Lowpander did the back spawn strat. None of them were running away. They just stayed in spawn, waited for the cap to happen, and they are setting up for last. They know they have to hold this with 20 seconds left to go. There's a full Uber advantage on the side of ANTIC. They're going to be pushing in from the lower side. No, they have to go through the main tunnel. And now Smear is going to lead the charge with Scrap. There's 13 seconds on the clock. Can they take it down? The air blast is going to be denying the Super as much as possible with the Sentry. It's going to be really hard. The Sentry gets to expand down. And now Scrap gets onto the point. It's going to be second on it. Sam. Ams gets onto it. It's a full sack. Smear's on the point. He's doing so much damage. No!
Oh, it was so close! Like 2 seconds more and Seroton would have had a frag onto Mookie. That was amazingly close from ANTIC, but in the end, Lowpander takes it.
Very good job from ANTIC to push forward, but Lowpander made the right decision there with that
Yeah,
back spawning.
exactly.
It slowed them down, set them up for a sentry last with an air blasting pyro and the sentry knockback. It's so hard to push forward. They took down the sentry very quickly and they rushed the point. Smear was so close, and then we saw the Ubersoft from Serotonin. That was all it would have taken to get the cap, but no. Milliseconds away
That
from
was
getting
so
the
close. I
round.
can't believe it, because when we think about the last time these two teams have faced each other on Badlands, that was exactly the same. ANTIC won the battle on of Badlands with like 3 seconds remaining on the timer. It was almost like the copy pasta of the game, if I say so. So
Control C, Control V.
yeah, I
of
can't
that
believe we
round.
almost seen a Twitch meme onto Badlands. That was really unexpected.
Yeah. Very good showing from ANTIC to try and take this back. Very good defense overall from the players. Mookie was the last player alive, so he was able to get that coordinated rocket spam to take down Smear at the very end. Very good job here. I do want to look at the logs at least so we can talk about it, because we don't have our analyst with us at this moment, but we can talk about it, right? We know what happened.
Yeah, we're good.
We can talk about the logs. Bring up the logs for us, please. I'm being told 1 moment, so Ombrack.
Hold your horses. It's late. We have to take our
horses, yeah,
time.
we gotta
have to take our
slow
time.
your roll.
Okay, I'm gonna take a bet, and I think AMS
Top damage?
has played the most classes out of everyone else.
Do we have that stat line? Does it show up what classes they all play?
I don't know. I
on
think
the-
it
on
only
the
shows
official logs?
the class that you have played the most.
Only on logs TF.
But he played sniper, spy, pyro, and soldier. So that's a safe bet.
Please bring up the logs for us so the chat can see it as well. Uber's top damaging,
Ubers
breaking 10K once again with 300 damage per minute. Very good showing from him. All the frags are relatively strong on the side of ANTIC. You see most of the players broke 20, while Funds was the top fragger on the side of Lowpander.
Look at Tom's stat line, going 5 for 17. I know it was a kind of a stalemate game, and he's playing roamer, but maybe that's why it didn't really work out, because we talked about it before Badlands started. He had such strong mains onto Goody Wash and on Badlands the last time they played versus Lowpander. So I was expecting him to maybe stepping up a bit and do more than that, but it looks like mr.epic and Funds read his game quite clearly, and they showed him every aggression Tom could have on them. So yeah, he has to fix something into his gameplay if ANTIC wants to take the next one home.
That they will. I was talking about this earlier, and you can look at the stat line right now. You see how all the explosive classes, the classes that get the biggest buff when it comes to a land setting, they're all at the top of the scoreboard, but Tom is all the way at the bottom. That's not where you want to be if you're having 5 ping. I know there was a big stalemate. 15 minutes of it was basically sitting at a last, so Tom didn't have a lot of opportunities to go for something, mostly just sack plays, and there wasn't a lot of action between mid and second. It was all last, so not a lot of work you can do there, so I can't really say that Tom is not performing well.
Yeah,
it's
but
just the nature of Badlands.
Look at Mookie's stat line. It's decent. 17 for 19 and 6k 5 damage. That's quite all right. So
Yeah, Lowpander was doing a very good job of keeping up their frags, keeping up their stats, despite the stalemates of Badlands. So unfortunately, ANTIC was just kind of backed into a corner for most of that match. So not a lot of opportunities to push forward, but that last rally was so good.
It was
so
amazing.
close, but Lowpander, I think they made the right decision with that back spawn play.
Yeah, that
Rather
might
than letting players
yeah.
walk out of spawn and work their way in, they could have gotten caught out by a jumping Smear, and Smear would have caught them out and he killed them right
It may
there.
not look like much, but it may as well have made a difference there. So yeah, it's like these tiny details, because
1 second on the clock.
ANTIC could have gone it with 1 more seconds, and maybe they bought that 1 more second when they backspawn. So yeah, it's the tiny things that could make the difference. Again, a good read on the situation from Rupert. I don't know if someone actually made that call. Like, don't go back from lobby, backspawn. That's gonna be quicker. The guy who said that, he's a genius.
So now we're going to be moving on to our third map, unless there's anything else you see in the stats you think is noteworthy. I think we're mostly done here with the logs.
Yeah.
So we can start talking about Snakewater, our third map in this best of 3 for the round 5 of the lower bracket.
So Snake is going to be our last map of the day. So
Last
I'm
map.
expecting fireworks everywhere. I want to see huge air shots and crazy shenanigans. But onto the map itself, again, it's quite a regular map onto the map pool. All of these players know how to play it. So it's been there for quite a while now. Not as long as Bandits, but still, it's we've seen that face before.
So in Snakewater, what's the Mookie strat? Fill us in. Heavy to
But
Snakewater?
we said that for Badlands, and it didn't work out. And the way you shut down the heavy on Badlands, it's the same for shutting down a heavy on Snakewater. You want to have a really early double bomb from the soldiers. It's actually something when I was playing on Prem this season, we played versus Lowpander, and we knew they were running a heavy, and all I said was like, if they have a heavy, we have to be aggressive on them, and we actually won the mid. So this it's not like something crazy, really hard to discover. You just have to bomb really quickly. But if you want this to work, you want both your soldiers to be able to do some damage, and this is where Tom needs to step up and to actually show that he's worthy of a top 3 at Insomnia.
And I agree with that. I think Tom is going to be stepping into his shoes here, gun boots that is, as he goes for the bombs, because this is Snakewater. There is so much room for soldiers here as compared to Badlands, where on last, it's just a whole bunch of trying to get a sniper sight line, maybe some coordinated spam that catches a player in a doorway. It's so hard for a soldier to have the freedom to do what he wants to do when these rocket jumpers, the rocket jumping meta has evolved so strong in Europe specifically. I'm just calling out your whole country, whole continent.
Yeah, Europe is a country, okay?
Yeah. Europe is a country.
Europe is a country.
This is American education here. I never learned the difference between a country and a continent.
But, I wonder if ANTIC has a plan. I mean, the only mid they won was versus the heavy. So do they have something specific for the heavy that will not work at all versus a cookie cutter lineup? Maybe they will lose every mid. I don't know what to expect. It's 1 a.m. These players, they are tired. They're probably hungry. They're probably thirsty and whatsoever. I can't imagine what they've been through today. They've played a lot. They've played high stakes game, high pressure scenarios. So Mike told earlier on the couch how important is it to keep your composure in this kind of game. And this could be the last game either for ANTIC or Lowpander. Like 6 gamers tonight will be done tomorrow. They won't have to wake up. They could have lay in bed forever and never see the light again.
Let's not get that dark, okay? It's just losing, getting 4th place in LAN. That's not a huge loss. I'd be pretty happy with that. 4th does get a prize, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So they get a little bit of change to take a cab ride home or something,
Take a Uber to get to the hotel and weep in your bed.
Crying in
yes,
bed.
chat. This is Grim. This is like so important for both of these teams.
Yes, it's absolutely crucial because Lowpander started off very strong. I say very strong as 1-0 on goalie wash. But when you have a lead, a map lead, you're a little bit more comfortable. But now all bets are off. It's even 1-1 on the map series. So whoever takes this map, it's 30 minutes to the end of the game. There's so many factors now with nerves. The pressure is on. How do you think Lowpander should approach their mids coming back from that 2-1 in Badlands?
Well, again, they won the mids where they didn't have a heavy.
Exactly.
They won the mids where they went aggressive, where Mookie was bumping in, where Ubers was bumping in, and Funs and mr.epic was just pressing W across the mid and getting the cleanup frag. So, if I'm Lowpander now, if I'm cosplaying heavy all day long, I want to be aggressive. I want to put off my sandwich away for like 30 minutes and be, okay guys, I'm a soldier now. I'm American and I'm going to bomb all over these Europeans. I don't care about them. I just want to win, and I want to like, they want to bomb onto Seroton as soon as they can, get a frag onto AMS and like be super dominant as soon as they can.
All right. So there we have it. Snakewater is our next map. We have 12 players in server, waiting for the players to ready up, talk about their strategies as they work their way towards what they're going to be doing for this, the final match of tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please stick around. This is going to be really hype because once this is over, we're going to be breaking it down with maybe a little bit of a
weatherman,
a rundown of what's been happening in this LAN so far, so you guys can be prepared for tomorrow.
And
the lower bracket finals, first thing in the morning. I think it's like 5 Eastern. For the Americans, 10 a.m. in the morning or something like that.
I'm
maybe
not
11.
really good at time zones, but I'm going to trust you on this one.
Yeah, so first thing in the morning, if you want to catch out the winner of this versus Swift tomorrow in the grand finals, we'll be breaking down exactly what's been happening in the bracket after this map. So be sure to stay tuned if you want to be ready for tomorrow.
A lot have happened today. A lot have happened yesterday.
There was
such a good LAN.
Huge battle between Ascent and I think Lowpander, was it? Or was it?
Yeah.
ANTIC. There was a huge golden cap that was deciding the entire map. And then shortly after that, we had some upset. No input almost took out ANTIC to be in this round 5. There's so much we can be talking about after this match.
It really hasn't been a straightforward LAN. Like, many things have happened, and even if in the end we have like the top 4 teams in the top 4 spots, it doesn't mean that it was a breath to get through there. And all of these teams, they have struggled, and we have seen crazy plays. We have seen really crazy scenarios happens in front of our eyes. So yeah, you want to stay after this game and see what happened.
Yeah, so Snakewater, a lot of opportunities for air shots here. That's what I'm most excited for. This is the best kind of map to have a closer, because there's going to be so many opportunities to get air shots.
Yeah, there's going to be so many jumps, and we've seen AMS air shots were kind of on point.
Yeah, and Goalie he got 10 air shots.
Yeah,
according to the
and I think he
logs.
top air shots on Badlands as well. So AMS is there, he's going to be there, and Ubers has crazy mechanics and crazy aim as well. So they're going to be air shots. Not only single air shots. I'm gonna call it right now. We're
gonna be seeing a double.
There's gonna be some double, I think.
I mean, we haven't seen a triple air shot since like I-49 or something. It's been so long.
Yeah, we're keeping this one for the finals. We haven't told you yet.
What?
This is for the finals, grand finals. There's gonna be a golden cap for the last map.
Okay.
Quad air shot.
Quad air shot. I haven't seen
but
that
this
since
is a secret.
Seabear was
This
still
is
casting.
a secret.
Seabear was the first one to capture a quad air shot live on stream once. So maybe it'll happen. I'm looking forward to some epic air shots coming into this final match. Players just need to ready up. They're DMing their hearts out right now, and should be getting live very shortly. So Ombrack, how have you been enjoying the LAN?
It's been such a good fun. Like,
you've been hanging out with some players. What team have you been sitting behind on the downtime?
Mostly Ascent, because they kindly offered me a room, so I had like to turn the favor back. So yeah, mostly Ascent, but LAN is so good. You can socialize with people, and you can see amazing games like the one we're about to see right now.
So yeah, if you've got hype for us, wow, I talked a little bit too quickly there.
Lowpander
versus ANTIC. If you've got hype for either of these teams, give a shout in the crowd, or if you're on behind the teams, give some support for your teams, because we are going live with the final map of tonight. It is Snakewater. Going into this first mid fight, we do see Smear and Hildreth rolling out. Smear going to be going towards the saw, while Hildreth opts to go lower. Smear going to be in the first shot onto the choke at the saw. He spots out his demo man on the lower side. We do see an early bomb. Mookie is running that heavy to mid, so that is going to be effective here. Hildreth very low on health, but Tom and AMS are both down. No soldiers on the side of ANTIC. And now Mr. Epic sitting on top of the shack and be spamming the players out. The heavy finally gets the point, and he's going to be working his way towards the grass, where they're going to be going into this second push, potentially before they can even set up for a defense. Smear is getting stickies primed and ready, and they're going to be getting into this fight. Mookie's getting on top of the shack now, getting lined up with a shot. Scrab's going to take down Ubers, but he's getting pressured by the heavy sitting on this point. It's going to be very hard for the rest of ANTIC to push in, but they're going for it. AMS is jumping forward. Smear getting a lot of spam. The Uber has been forced off on both sides, but Mookie is still full health and staying into this exchange. Once the Uber fades, he's got eyes on the players. Scrab jumps in, and he's going to be backed off. But Tom bombing in, going to get a nice 2 rockets to take down Mookie, and Cran is going to get disconnected from the rest of his players and opt to go out of the middle point. But Funz is behind. He's going to get a shot onto Serotonin. He does take him down.
Whoa, Funz, what are you doing, man?
He had like 10 HP.
That was crazy. And so the mid, we talked about how to counter Mookie on the heavy, you have to double bomb. That's what Abs and Tom 2 did, but they got completely annihilated by Funz and Mr. Epic. That was insane to see, and as I'm saying that, Mr. Epic is going back onto mid, but he's on his own. No, Ubers is actually with him. The 2 Eastern European players are in. Smeary has to fall back onto his showroom. Tom on the backline is getting cleaned up, and this could be a cap point for Lowpander just out of sheer DM. They just DM their way out onto this mid.
So Lowpander taking control of this map once again, working their way through the saw. They do have that Uber advantage, very sizable. So now Serotonin needs to get into position to get to last, as Hildreth will be moving forward, putting some stickies at the feet of Potato, juggling up, and now the cap is going to go in favor of Lowpander on the second point. Serotonin is backing up. They need to get this Uber and ready for a defensive hold on last, because there's only about 8 seconds left before the Uber is ready for ANTIC. AMS is on spy though.
And Lowpander is kind of slow.
Very slow.
Moving their way through the lobby, and they're not in there yet. So yeah, they're gonna have the charge. Scrap noticed that they were slow, so he's going onto the NG guy, going to put a sentry on top of, in front of the left door, and now Abs is trying to make his knife working again. Why not?
Yeah, we do see he's getting into position here, waiting for the cloak to recharge. He's calling out his route of attack as he works his way towards the top of the train. mr.epic gets taken down, working his way into last, trying to sack his way in. Probably going to respawn as a spy or a sniper himself, while AMS is getting a very close position. He could have gotten underneath the little ramp there, right behind Cram, but that is no longer a spot. So just trying to find an opportunity here. Smear peeking very aggressively in the lobby. Could get some pressure as Serotonin is going to be working forward. Now ANTIC want to push their way out of here, try and take advantage of it, but Hildreth gets taken down by AMS before getting cleaned up by Ubers. So now with that pick, it's going to be very easy for ANTIC to work their way through with no Demo Man, no sticky traps, and Mookie gets taken down.
By Tom, who went aggressive onto the cheese, and
Tom bombs in.
he forces the Uber of Crane. What a nice play from Tom, who actually steps in after his poor last game, and now with mr.epic on sniper, Serotonin, even if he has the Uber, he's going to be in a tricky situation if he wants to push out of last and not getting dropped by the sniper.
With Tom down, just now respawning, it's once again a reset. But there is full Uber on the side of ANTIC ready to push out, but mr.epic, like you said, on that sniper, has an angle through the main lobby. They are going to be opting to go through bats and get some pressure onto Ubers, who is very close. They force the Uber off right away. They are so worried about the sniper. They're going to be bombing in. But Ubers is on top of the cheese, and Mookie is actually flanking from behind. They're going to be going for last. 2 soldiers available at the. They're not going to be able to get in there. Mookie is going to get called out, and mr.epic gets a shot onto Potato here. Nice aggression. Going to take out Serotonin. It's able to get to Ubers, but Kranz gets taken down, and Serotonin were retaliated by Mookie, who is alive, and now they pushed on to the second. They're going to get to the cap, and Tom is the only player alive on last. ANTIC are probably going to lose this round.
They get spawners in 2 seconds, but this probably won't be quick enough. But Arms and Potato are now up. What 4 is on the point, but Hildreth with a clever second round thing than Potato, and that's the first round for Lowpander. That re-push onto the second point from ANTIC was so risky. They got punished for it, and Lowpander playing their odds really, really well so far. Are in the lead once again. It was the same situation on Badlands, and they managed to stay in the lead for the whole map. So why not do it again?
How does ANTIC respond right now? What is their plan?
They have to make a double bomb again, because I think if they actually synced better and land in the same position, they could make something work, because they got in different direction on the previous mid. I think in my eyes that's why they got denied.
So now seeing at this mid fight, we do see Hildreth going lower, Smear to the saw room. Going to be taking his first shot, trying to get an early sticky onto the players, but he's going to take damage of his own from Hildreth, who's gotten a very good upper hand on the spam. Trying to throw some pipes, raining down on the players walking up the slope. We do see the heavy has approached mid and is putting on some pressure. Scrap getting into position now. He wants to push forward, but needs the initiation from his team. The soldiers need a bomb, and AMS is so low on health, and Tom hasn't even gotten in yet. Both players are now getting in position. AMS just jumped up top. He's getting some rockets in, but it's just such a slow mid. Nobody's died yet. Tom is now pushing forward through kitchen, going to be wrapping around at any moment, catching the players from behind. And a bomb is coming in from Ubers, who's going to get taken down now. ANTIC are in the lead in numbers. And I do see Thomas behind, getting in the face of a heavy. Gonna get so much damage, but Mookie gets the better of that exchange. And now we do see the Ubers are forced off at this midpoint before it can even get capped off. Mookie's very low on health and is gonna have to get out of the fray for just a moment. Hildreth's trying to get out through the window, is getting pressured. 19 HP gets cleaned up by Smear, who's rushing in through the saw, able to catch him out the window. And now AMS jumping in, trying to get on Funds, but Funds is getting the better of this exchange. Tries to get the equalizer out, but he's getting chased down by Scrab and Potato, who are rushing forward, getting onto the point. Ubers is playing defensively and got the soldier, the rockets ready to come in, trying to catch the players. Smear's going to get juggled by that nice rocket from Ubers. And now we do see a reset, more or less, but there is a number advantage on the side of Lowpander.
And Mookie is still on the heavy, he's working his way through the saw room, gets stuck into the wall. Finally, he sees the light of the sun, and ANTIC doesn't take the chance. They're just falling back onto the second, gonna walk around the Uber quality they have. They just don't want to die to Mookie's minigun, and that's why they're playing really cautious right now, I think. Knowing Potato and Amps, I'm quite surprised not to see a sniper already, because Mookie on heavy is like, he has so much impact, because he denies the rear so well, like sitting on the shack as he did on the ANTIC second point some minutes ago. So yeah, I think Mookie is like really making the difference so far, and ANTIC has to find a solution to counter the heavy really quickly.
We do see very defensive play from Lowpander. They're trying to work their way around what they want to do. Mookie actually might be going to a back spawn. No, he decides to come back. He's just running around. Happy little Pootis.
Jogging time for Mookie.
Yeah, he's working out right now, doing his laps around Snakewater mid. He's so bored because there's nothing that can happen here. We do see AMS finally initiating into the saw room, clearing out the stickies as best he can, getting a little bit of damage onto Ubers. He can rotate through the window potentially here. There are no stickies, but he doesn't know that. There is actually, I believe, an opportunity here for AMS to push forward, but no, Ubers gets the better of that. Going to take that frag and now work his way to the window, but Scrab is sitting there and there's also a sticky trap there, so not going to be open there. Mookie now trying to get into position through Saw as he jumps in through the window. They're up to go in right away. Ubers on top of the pipeline is opening the door for their team, but it's slowing things down. Mookie is trying to peek his way through the window, but if he does, he can die to the sticky trap, so he's just going to back off, and now too much time has elapsed. Lowpander decide to reset.
Yeah, and still no sniper again from Scrab and Potato. I guess that's a way of approaching the situation, but look at them, they're just being stuck and bullied out of their serum constantly, like all the time. No one has spotted the sticky on the left though, and Surton might really well drop on them if they don't get cleaned up yet. Scrab might have me on his ear because he just removed the stickies. And Arms is getting bullied out of the serum once again. Looks like Lowpander is really quite happy to just sit on the mid forever with Mookie on the minigun, and something has to happen.
That air shot was so close from AMS, putting some pressure onto the demo man, Hildreth. And he's getting so aggressive here, getting some chip shots onto the medic. He can potentially go for an Uber push here. They want to push forward. ANTIC need to take the aggression. They have to initiate if they want to take this round. There is not going to be any initiation from Lowpander themselves because they're playing so passively. They have Mookie on heavy. He's checking for spies even. So it's AMS and up to ANTIC to initiate here.
It's really hard to initiate when you have a minigun pointed at your face. I wouldn't be in that situation. I wouldn't like to be in that situation. So they have to find something. Maybe try to get the scout into the kitchen and try to have a flank play ongoing. I don't know. But if they want to take the fight right on the Ubers and Hildreth and Mookie, this is not gonna look good for ANTIC. Maybe get someone. What I would do there is I would send Potato back to the spawn and get the sniper, because the safe is gonna be really hard to break there, and the main reason is obviously Mookie on the heavy. So yeah, Potato, I think you have to go for the sniper refill really soon.
He's just going to be playing the defensive scout role. Scrab and Potato are sitting on top of the high ground here, making sure no soldiers can go for any plays. But like you said, they're playing so passive. Lowpander are not going to be going for any bombs here, especially because Mookie is not a soldier. The only soldier is Ubers. He does have enough health, and with the gunboats, he can initiate. But once they lose their soldier, they're going to lose a lot of their spam potential. So ANTIC need to recognize that this is their chance to work their way in, maybe get that sniper like you said, so that they can get a shot onto the Mookie, who's basically standing still from lower. There's no angle, or there's a very good angle, and no aggression whatsoever from the players of Lowpander watching lower.
Look at him. Look where he is, I don't know. And what surprises me that we've seen ANTIC trying all kind of crazy stuff on the previous map, but they're not trying anything, and it really surprises me because they've been acting really risky on the previous, especially in Badlands, trying to break the stalemate. But here, I don't know. It looks like they're just happy to wait forever, maybe for a round reset. But I don't see well how that would serve their interest. So I would give a lot to be on ANTIC Mumble now to know what's going on.
I mean, a round reset doesn't sound like a bad idea. Retake the mid. ANTIC could push their way out, have an even footing with the rest of Lowpander. Excuse me, I almost said Prolander. We don't know what that is here. That's not a real thing. Lowpander could be in a bad position here because if the round resets, they're going to have to play another mid against ANTIC, and if ANTIC take it back, they will be taking the initiation and working their way forward. I really want to see at least someone initiating so that the cap can go off, or at least set it to overtime so that the round doesn't reset and Lowpander can hold on to their advantage here, parking the bus at mid.
Hildreth and Ubers are just peeking cautiously to through the server room, not really going into the server room. They're just peeking outside, seeing if ANTIC players are still on the server, I guess. But I don't. They're just waiting. There's a sticky trap from Smear onto the pillar that hasn't been spotted by Ubers yet, but I don't see them making the mistake of pushing there. Again, there's too much at stake there to make that kind of rookie mistake. and all these players are seasoned Prem players, so they're not gonna do that mistake, I assume. So we've said it before. It's up now to ANTIC to do something while Lowpander is actually just waiting, standing still.
We've currently lost our monitor here to look at the stream, and I hope production will pick up on my hint as I spend all my time talking about it. But we are still waiting for initiation from some player on either ANTIC. We do see, just the number of stickies through the wall almost looked like a crouching spy, and I got really excited. But no, it's just a bunch of stickies.
And finally, Potato has a good read on the situation. He went back to spawn and he first checked for off-class hit and now he's on sniper. I think it's a bit late now because we're close to a round reset, but later is better than never, I guess.
I mean, honestly, I finally we see it. Potato is on sniper. I was about to say they're probably going for the round reset at this point because nothing's going to happen, but we do see Potato is on that Machina sniper. Going to get an easy shot onto Mookie potentially here. They do spot at the sniper. He takes a shot. Doesn't connect with anyone right away, but that is going to open up the door for some initiation because now the players have to commit more of their team to lower to prevent Potato from getting these free shots, but he's getting them off. If he gets one pick, it could be the initiation for that ANTIC needs. And so the spam comes in. The shots are ringing out. Potato is so healthy. They're so worried about defending Saw that if ANTIC also works around maybe potentially getting a their combo to push through Saw, it could work because there's not a lot of defense in Saw, just Hildreth, the demo man, laying a bunch of stickies.
And Potato missed his first shot, so now he's been spotted and it's going to be a lot harder for him to get a line and a good start line because look at Crayon. Crayon is hiding behind the house and Mookie is just chilling near kitchen. Maybe he just want to have another sandwich, I don't know, but Ams is trying to pick kind of aggressively onto the showroom, but finally falls back, and Potato, with the time clock is ticking, so the more, the less time there is, the more Potato has to make risky plays. And look at Ams. Look at Ams. I don't think he's been spotted. He's just hiding onto the kitchen.
Yeah, he snuck his way into kitchen right now. And it's going to be getting into a position, but Mookie is playing so defensively. He's going to spot it out right away. He goes for the bomb, getting onto Cran, jumps him into the air. He can't. He forces the Uber off. He was so pressured, and now, as a result, we do see Cran has no Uber to defend with, so ANTIC has an opportunity here to repush once they get their respawns. And because Uber died during that exchange as well, they will be going for this now. They're going to be opting to push in, but Potato is still on that sniper, so it's going to slow things down because they have to play around their sniper for him to be an impact in this push.
That was such a nice play from Ams, and kind of incredible that he managed to live long enough to shoot enough rockets and force the Uber out of Crayon. And now Seroton is working with his team, walking it up to Cowwalk, maybe trying to not to use. Crayon already has 50% Uber. Mookie is on the shack, just ready to shut down any kind of
around the corner, he has a shot. He's charged up the body shot, is able to get a good shot on Ubers, who's very low on health. Trying to snipe the Heavy, who's sitting on top of the shack. Going to be opening the door for AMS to run for it, but Ubers jumps in, knocks him off the point, and now the Ubers almost ready for Cran. After that exchange, they've taken so long to initiate. Potato takes the shot of Mookie, no more Heavy into play, and they're going to get down to this mid cap. They have the Uber on both sides, but with no Heavy, finally we see Lowpander working their way back to the second. The captives go off. There's no 60 seconds ending now. The round timer resets, and we're back to 15 minutes left in this match, the final match of tonight.
And maybe out of this, ANTIC can build some kind of momentum. Look at Ams going super deep, and Tom is in as well. Gains one nice rocket. Oh, he almost gets a second rocket onto Crayon. Really weak. And he decided not to use the Uber. That's quite a nice play from Crayon. The nerves are real even this late in the night, and now it's another final. Like when you think about it, they force the Uber but only get 1 point with 100% Uber ad, so like they're playing really, really cautiously. Maybe that's because Potato is on sniper, but maybe they should have tried to be more aggressive, but what is done is done, and now it's the reverse situation.
But now all eyes are on ANTIC because they have the drive to push. It's not going to be Lowpander trying to park the bus. ANTIC need to push out, so they're going to be using Potato to their advantage here as he gets around the Saw, trying to get some shots off. Ubers is on the left side here. Could potentially get caught out here if he doesn't move out of the way. Finally, the shot does go off. It does ring and hit Ubers, but he's going to get arrowed up back to full health, and Potato is charging up. Once again, another shot. Mr. Epic is in the cheese, trying to get into a sniping angle that can catch up Potato, but Potato is holding very steadfast. will not allow himself to be taken out while Mr. Epic has rotated over to the battlements, trying to get a shot through the window, but that won't be connecting to anyone except for Scrap, who peeks his way in through. He almost gets shot. Hildreth gets taken down by Potato, and now with no time, ANTIC are on their push. They're ready to work their way in now.
Yes, such a crucial pick onto the demo, and look at Uber's up in the sky. It gets it's Mr. Epic retaliates with another headshot onto another frag from Potato onto the sniper, but the frags are just piling up now, and it's another reset because it's 2 down for each team, and the Ubers haven't been used from any of the 2 medics.
Yeah, they sacked their players in. There was a really good positioning there from, I believe it was AMS, who was able to jump onto Cran. Cran was able to stay alive, and AMS got picked off. Once again, we see a reset here, but ANTIC have a lot of options. They have a sniper, they have soldiers that can bomb, that want to bomb, for that matter. It's there's a lot of options here.
Mr. Epic is back on sniper as well. Potato didn't die in the trade, so maybe that's the best solution for the Russian scout. I see some kind of aggression. Maybe Uber is trying to pick aggressively. Potato dies to a pipe from Hildreth, so no sniper onto ANTIC, and maybe Mr. Epic can get some space to have a proper sightline. That's what he's doing. He's going on to green, trying to get his eyes onto Seroton. We only see Scrap gets a body shot and another one onto Smirre. It was a headshot actually, but that's not enough to make something happen there.
Tom very low on health, going to get arrowed up and stay alive for just a moment longer. Urs is trying to initiate. He jumps in, gets juggled a little bit, trying to create a distraction so Tom can get sniped by Mr. Epic there. Very good distraction play. Uber's got out alive too, so that's going to be opening the doors for Lowpander to get into the fray. Shots are ringing out as much as possible. Mr. Epic gets Potato, and AMS gets taken down by Uber, so now Lowpander are in control. They're rushing forward. Mookie's going to die, but Scrap's going to pick up. Hildreth is alive. Seroton is the only player alive. He pops on no one. Tried to milk as long as possible, and now he's going to be rushing back to his teammate, Tom. No one is going to get the forward spawns.
Yeah, Seroton decided to milk the Uber forever, and it milked it so much that everyone else died, so he was on his own, and he stood still for like 2 seconds, probably thinking, what have I done? But the damage is on, and now Crayon has his Uber ready to be used.
With full Uber advantage, we do see an advantage from Lowpander, but do you think they're going to park the bus here?
Why not? They did it in Badlands, and they
Oh, and they're going right away for a push. One's taking the Uber into the space of the sentry, takes it down right away, rotating to the left side, ready for the players that are rotating. He gets on the cap. The flash is coming in, but the sticky trap from Smear is going to take that down. Tom and AMS are down, so ANTIC have no soldiers to defend here. Potato rushing into Ubers. He takes him down and he jumps around, trying to get some damage onto the players. Seroton goes for a Uber saw, but can't make it happen. Mr. Epic is still alive, getting some shots off, and Hildreth's going to get a frag onto Seroton. There's one player alive. Scrab respawns, but can't get to the point in time. He just dies. So Lowpander take their second round of this final map. ANTIC need to retaliate quickly if they want to have any chance of holding on to their I-61 dream of going to grand finals.
And quickly, I think, is the key word there, because they waited for so long that now they're in a really troublesome position. I'm talking about ANTIC right there, of course. So they got to speed up the process. They got to speed up the pace of the game, and AMS has to try to find a solution to make this happen, because if this Lowpander seems so keen to just slow the game as much as they could. If they do that like for 5 more minutes, this is going to be nearly impossible for ANTIC to come back.
All lights are on ANTIC here, so you see Smear getting a couple chip shots with the stickies as Scrab and Potato are playing very defensively. AMS and Tom bombing in very aggressively, getting onto Cran. Cran's going to stay alive for just a moment longer, serves the rocket away. One more rocket's all he's going to take, and he's still alive. AMS can't get the shot. Cran stays alive, and now it's very desperate for ANTIC because Seroton is the last one alive. He's getting chased down by Mr. Epic. He's got the arrows out, but Mr. Epic is rotated through sheets. He's going for the saw play. Can't get the second arrow. He does so much damage, but Mr. Epic stays alive with 20 HP, and Seroton dies. I think this is very, very desperate for ANTIC now because this is definitely an option for Lowpander to park the bus.
It is. And the jukes from Crayon onto Sorum are so real. Like the way he juked AMS was amazing. And on the other side of the map, Seroton died to Mr. Epic. So, but look, they don't want to park the bus. They're going in. Mr. Epic and Hildreth under the Uber. The sentry has been taken down, and Mr. Epic is now trying to get some cap time. Uber's doing. Hildreth doing so much work on with his stickies, but he actually doesn't quite capture the final point, and the Crayon died in the process. Hildreth is taunting on the point. No, he was taunting, so he couldn't defend himself. What was he thinking about? He could have done it. He could have done the 3-0 to Lowpander, but somehow pressing the G key was more important.
Bad manners will come back to bite you. So you see the cap almost gets taken off by Scrab. Nice pipe from Smear to pick off Mr. Epic, and that's going to slow things down. Kran is in the grass, so he could get bombed here potentially if AMS or Tom can get in position here. We do see Potato rushes forward, takes down Kran. That was a bad position by him, rushing so far forward. Ubers is actually going to be just able to stay alive thanks to the help of Funds, who runs forward, takes down 2 kills of his own against Potato and Tom. Bomb from Hildreth trying to come in, get some pipe onto Smear, and a follow-up bomb from Mookie takes down AMS. Scrab gets taken down by Funds. It's all collapsing. It's just Serotonin alive, who's rushing to his last. He's the only player alive, and there's no chance of it. Tom does respawn in time. Gonna bomb onto the soldiers on the right side near the truck. Ubers and Mookie are very low on health. Potato can't clean them up potentially. He gets 2 shots, takes them down right away, and now no soldiers are alive for Lowpander, but Funds is on a kill streak of his own, taking the 4th frag of his own. Fifth with the pistol and now chasing around, trying to juke as much as he can, slow the players down while the rest of the team gets into position.
Fun lives forever. Heroes never die, it seems, but he finally gets taken out by Tom. But Fun's what a play, and I want to like Potato had two frags onto the scars as well on the soldier. That was pretty cool. But now, 7 minutes 45 seconds. Ubers are the same. Lowpander could poke the burst right now, and it's going to be up to Amps to peek into this lobby and trying to be really aggressive.
With only 8 minutes left in the server, we do see AMS getting some initiation here in the lobby. They need to push out right now if they want to get into position. They have a small advantage, but not quite enough to, you know, take home to the bank.
And Potato's
because it's a bank holiday, that's why.
And Potato's on Sniper, so it's gonna slow down his team even more. I'm not sure this is the right pick there, but maybe they never intended to push in the first place. But if they don't intend to push, and if Lowpander doesn't intend to push, we might as well be there forever for like 7 minutes, and that could be it for ANTIC.
ANTIC, you are in the driver's seat right now. You're gonna get juggled by Mookie, who picks off Smear. That is not what you want to have happen. ANTIC now on the defensive with no Demo Man. Kran getting into position here. He's actually not even opting to go in. They're just going to send in some sack waves potentially here. They're not even going to go for a push. They know they have, with 6 minutes left, this is where they park the bus. They don't have any advantage to push on.
Yeah.
That was their decision. They could push when they had full Uber ad, but they can't push now because AMS is actually rushing forward, getting a lot of damage on Mookie. He's going to back out through Saw, stay alive for just a moment longer as Mookie waits for an arrow before he can reinitiate here. Takes the arrow, and now AMS is still behind. We're going to keep an eye on him as he has an opportunity to work his way in.
It's funny to see how AMS is playing pocket, but he's doing the playmaker role, trusting the life of his medic into his skull hands, and yeah, AMS is trying to make it happen. He actually takes down Mookie. Could be a Potato on Mr. Epic. That's 2 frags, and AMS with another cool rocket onto Ubers. 3 people are down from Lowpander, and ANTIC has to be aggressive right now. Kran has used his Uber onto Hildreth and Funds. Funds going so deep onto Smear. Smear's really weak, and finally the Uber has been used onto Potato from Seroton, even though Funds died. So maybe not. That was kind of a pressure pop, I guess. And
yeah, not ideal, but they still have a Demo Man advantage because
Yeah.
Hildreth has not spawned yet. And with Funds down, they have the numbers to work with here. AMS now, or Tom, excuse me, working his way through the saw while AMS is on top of the crates. He's jumping in onto Mookie, denies his bomb and takes him down right away, but Ubers was able to exchange onto Tom. Ubers is sitting inside of Saw, going to be exchanged. Jumping in through the mid, he's going to be meeting up with Scrab, who's getting so many pepper shots. Finally, a fadeaway rocket from long distance from AMS is going to take down Ubers. AMS on his 5th kill streak so far. He's rushing in, trying to get some pressure onto Hildreth. 1 shot is all it takes, but no Funds is going to defend that. And now we do see ANTIC have the midpoint, but even Ubers and no numbers.
And Potato is still on Sniper, so again, he's just slowing his team down. In my opinion, he should go back to Scar as soon as he can, so maybe go for hero shot, getting picked, and go back on Scar, because now, with only 5 minutes left on the clock, it's going to be really tough for ANTIC. And look at that, they're just waiting for Potato to get a frag, and this can't be if they want to win.
With Potato in the grass yard, it's going to be opening up a lot of opportunities for his team if they can just walk forward, keep the aggression up, but with Mr. Epic on that sniper, it's going to slow things down because he is also shooting the players. A nice little body shot, fully charged, takes down Mr. Epic through his teammates, and now we do see Ubers is not even spotted. He's going to jump down onto Potato, doesn't get taken down though. Scrab takes him down, so now with 2 frags in their favor, Mookie is the only player alive on the side of the flank, rotating now through the grass line. He's going to be coming in while ANTIC cap this 2nd point. Mookie is still behind though.
Mookie is still behind, so they have to take care of him. And if they have to take care of him, that means they can't push forward. And only 4 minutes left. So yeah, Potato is gonna pick aggressively, maybe on the left side. But Funds is watching closely. He's gonna call for the push. And Arms gets headshot by Mr. Epic and cleaned up by Fonz. This is looking really, really hard now for Antic. They have to make something happen. Mookie is bombing from the backline, trying to get onto Seroton, get to one nice rocket. He's on the market Gardner, but finally get taken on by Scrab. And now they're gonna have to wait for Arms. But Mr. Epic with a clean shot onto Smeared. That should be a huge blow to Antic's intentions.
Antic still do have the opportunity to take this round and then open up one more mid-fight, potentially to at least bring it to a golden cap, or even potentially take the round, because you can take 3 rounds in 3 minutes if the cap lasts very shortly. Now we do see Mr. Epic very close to the face of Potato. Potato gets a nice little headshot. AMS rushes forward, but there are 2 soldiers here. Gonna take out Mr. Potato, and now Mookie dies as well. So with a soldier down, they have to take down Mr. Epic if they want to hold on to this push here. AMS walks forward. He's going to be calling for it. He takes down Mr. Epic because all the soldiers are gone. Right now we do see some initiation onto Funds. Scrab gets taken down by Hildreth with a nice little pipe there. Smear's sitting above the fence line, trying to get a little bit of juggle spam, and he's getting trapped here. He's going to go down at any moment now. Does get cleaned up, but we do see players getting into position for potentially a back cap, but no, Lowpander knows better than to push out here. They have 3 minutes on the clock and 2 rounds. They are not pushing.
They got a dry push now. They got a try push if they want to have some time for the next round. They don't want to have a 1 minute run where they have to throw things in. They want to do something now. Maybe no wait for the Uber and try to get onto the left. Mr. Epic isn't a sniper yet. And as I say that, of course, it switches to snipers. So the window has closed for Antic, and now they have to wait for the Uber. And if I'm not mistaken, Lowpander is actually arrow building. But they're going for it. Woo! 2 scouts up on the right. Mr. Epic gets a nice shot onto Seroton. No heals onto the Antic side, but they don't care.
It doesn't matter. Funds takes so much damage, and now it's just Cram desperately to get on the point. He gets cleaned up by Smear. Smear doing an amazing job with the quick bomb launcher and the Iron Bomber. 2 minutes left on the clock. Antic, you can do it. Chat, crowd, give Antic your energy. Your cheers are going to power Antic as they go into this next round. This is 2 minutes left on the clock. All eyes are on Antic. Can they bring it back, Ombrack?
They have to. It's not about can they. It's about they have to do it if they want to still be alive in this tournament. 2 minutes, it's not a long time, but so they have to swim through this middle, get in really aggressive. I don't know what is the solution there when you're Antic, but you have to make magic work. Magic happens there.
Smear beefed his rollout though, and that's going to slow things down because he's not going to get to mid fast in the demo. The early damage is going to be coming in. Nice little rocket, or Sticky going to be lowering the health of that soldier, and Tom going to be initiating here. Tries to jump in, but backs off at the last moment, trying to wait for a little bit of an arrow before he can reinitiate once again. The arrow comes in. Tom ready to bomb in now once he's fully healed. Gets cleaned up though by Ubers, who's just sitting up top. AMS is now the soldier to keep eyes on. He sees the soldier's bomb and tries to take him down. Does get Mookie, but Seroton dies.
Oh, Ubers,
nice air
shot.
Hildreth also picks up on Potato. It's just the scouts alive. Smear is only up. He's in the kitchen now, rotating around. He can't get a pipe. Nice pipe, but can't finish it off. There's a minute left. It can be done still. There is not. Antic is not out yet.
Yeah,
they have to respond quickly.
Like almost the same situation as on Badlands, where Antic kept around at the last minute and then add 1 full minute to make it happen. So they were only 1 second short on the Badlands. So why won't make it happen now? Seroton's on the crit streak while Crayon has the Uber. Amps trying to get really deep but gets punished right away by Sticky Trap from Amps. And Tom is dead as well. He forced the Uber out of Crayon though, and now it's all about kiting the Uber and going back in really quickly and really swiftly.
But Potato gets taken out by Mookie, and Ubers is also getting so much pressure here. It's cleaning up. It's, oh no, it's a wipe!
This is it.
AMS is still spawning though, so he can go for a play here, trying to slow down players. He does take down Ubers and Funds. Follows up with a little bit of extra damage onto Mr. Epic, but that's going to be it. Lowpander takes it 3-1, and they will be advancing because 30 seconds left. There's no way, obviously.
Yeah, but they put up a fair fight. They lacked a bit of aggression in my eyes, but I think Antic, whatever happens, they can be proud of their land. They had shown, like, they've proven themselves as really good players, and where we see that Crayon looks kind of happy. I mean, he won, so yeah, I feel that guy.
Yeah, we do have those player cams set up right now, and you can see the reactions, the faces of all of Lowpander. Hildreth has completely disappeared. He's so happy he's cloaked himself. And Uber's very happy. All their expressions showing a lot of happiness.
And relief.
Lowpander.
And relief, I think.
Yeah, relief. That's the biggest thing, because Antic had a chance to come back there with 2 minutes left on the clock, taking it to 1-2. But there we have it. The end of the match. Finally, victory is called. Congratulations to Lowpander advancing. At the very worst, they will get 3rd place, but you know, this is I61. They want to go for gold.
Yeah, of course. You don't play to be third.
You don't play to be
first.
third. You play to be first.
I mean, they fought their way through so hard. They were so tough for Lowpander, but they shown that they had the shoulders to get the pressure. So yeah, really, really nice play from them, and I'm really looking forward to see them tomorrow.
So we're going to hand it over to our host Getaway and our analysis of Gem and Ipoli. So take it away, guys.
Hi. How you guys doing? Here's the thing. I mean, everyone's really tired. The players are really tired. Production team's tired. Viewers are tired.
I'm pretty tired.
The viewers either that are here want to either go to sleep or they want to party all night. It's up to them. If you're an adult and you're of legal drinking age in the jurisdiction, you can do whatever you want. I'm not a police officer. We'll talk a little bit and wrap it up because that was a hell of a series. But we've got a ton more TF2 tomorrow, and we'll talk about that. Can we, here's the thing. It's 2017, right? And so we're going to flash the logs for just a moment, and if you want to screenshot it, we'll give you the chance. That's long enough.
We have the technology.
27 frags, funds. Holy smokes. Is that guy for real?
Turns out he's quite good. Turns out
I thought he was called Jasif now. I thought it wasn't funds anymore, but anyway.
It's Jay Chapman.
Yeah.
I subbed him out of fantasy team. I'm so disappointed.
Give us, 20 words or less of what.
Would have been nicer if ANTIC had won. But
why is that?
Just because.
Is that bias I'm hearing?
Yes, it's basically massive bias.
Why do you say
also
that? Is it because you feel Lowpander underperformed?
Kind of. Like, it was more the fact that I was hoping ANTIC would overperform.
Yeah.
Kind of compared to their stuff. They said, they've got such like legends in the game. You always got to hope people with that kind of legacy do well at LAN.
Yeah.
I thought they had it in them, but obviously, Lowpander beat them in like two out of the three pretty solid maps. Like after the first map, I was kind of feeling the ANTIC hype, but Lowpander clearly deserved it. You can't argue any other way.
Yeah. I mean, they had an admirable tournament. James McConnell. Jem, what did you think of all that?
It was interesting. Like I saw Funds and mr.epic doing way more on that map, on the last map. Funds especially, like fragging all the time. He's pocket scout, so he's not meant to be like the absolute like top fragger, but he really pulled out in that match, and he's just so consistent.
By the way, our fact checkers are telling me it's McDonald, not McConnell. You idiot.
James McDonald.
Yeah, James McDonald.
Rest in peace,
admirable. Rest in peace. We just buried him this morning. Listen, we don't want to say too much else. We've said, ANTIC had a fantastic tournament. They had some really great bright spots yesterday, especially.
Yep.
And, I think they had a really fantastic time. I think they had fun as well. A couple of things that were before we finish up here and send you guys on your way. And it's early in North America, so you're probably laughing at us, but man,
it's late for us. Definitely.
We're tired boys.
It's 2 in the morning.
It's
for
bedtime
us.
for bad boys. We're having a TF2 group photo tomorrow. If you are here in this building and you're listening to me tomorrow at 10 a.m., having a big old group photo. You're going to meet outside of Hall 19. It was an annual tradition for so long. We didn't get it last year. So we're going to get it this year. So 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, if you want to come and do that, everyone's welcome. You don't have to be like super cool or get 300 DPM if you want to be in the photo. Because I'm going to be in it, so obviously. Viewers, as for what to expect tomorrow, we're obviously going to make our way through the rest of the lower bracket tomorrow. And that's going to culminate with our grand final on the esports stage!
Oh, God, the clipping.
You're getting an esports stage. You're getting an esports stage. And that'll be at 3 o'clock local time. Look at these dedicated friggin' viewers. Holy smokes. They have been here. I mean, the police are banging on the walls trying to get us out of here. We have way overstayed our welcome. So, yeah, that's what to expect tomorrow. We're going to be right here back on the stream starting at, I believe, 11 a.m. local time. We're going to good night. We're going to make our way. We're going to make our way through the lower bracket, and we're going to have 2 teams on that esports stage tomorrow. We're all pretty psyched and pumped about it. Gentlemen, any parting words?
Not really. Apart from thanks to the crowd. Thanks to everyone watching at home.
Yep.
it's going to be a pretty fantastic final.
Yeah, Jem.
Shout out to ANTIC, shout out to Lowpander, shout out to the Irish kids in the crowd.
Shout out to the Irish kids in the crowd. Make some noise if you're Irish or want to be Irish.
Hey, there we go.
I think the Irish people are out having fights, or they're
Yeah,
in
they're fucking, they're drunk. They've
they're, in
gone
the,
home.
they're in the lockup. Just kidding. I'm pretty much Irish.
That's racist.
Well, let's end this off. Thank you guys for being here with us all throughout the day. Come on back tomorrow for some of the best TF2 that you've seen in at least a weekend's time.
At least.
The low bracket final, right?
Yes.
It's next up. It's Lowpander versus Swift.
I remember that one. Yep.
Yeah, those are teams.
Coming back tomorrow. We will be here. We hope you will be here, and we will see you then. Take care.